Kick-off on Tuesday, I produced a lengthy list of doubts about Erik ten Hag, but here's something that's not in question. The Dutchman's home record in the Premier League, sensational. He's lost only 1 of 20 and is currently a run of 7 straight home wins. So good luck to Forest, whose away record since promotion has been shocking. Commentary on Talksport of this one from a man who once scored one of the greatest ever Premier League goals at Old Trafford, Dean Ashton. He's alongside the pick of the bunch, Ian Danter.
Thank you, Adrian, and a very good afternoon to you wherever and however you're listening to TalkSport on this very, very busy weekend of live sport across our network. Usyk Dubois later on TalkSport. The rugby union just getting going, as you've heard from Adrian on TalkSport too. But here we're at the Theatre of Dreams, and Manchester United have been dealing with off-field issues an awful lot lately. But today, on-field issues with injured players dominate Erik ten Hag's thinking for this game against Nottingham Forest. No Mason Mount and no Luke Shaw, both the England players out and missing for unspecified spells. That means 2 enforced changes for the hosts from their 2-0 defeat at Spurs. And a third change, as you just heard Adrian and Dean Ashton discussing. Anthony Martial drafted in for his 300th United appearance in place of Garnacho, allowing Marcus Rashford to go to his traditional left of an attacking 3 berths in midfield. Eriksson and Dalot, the other 2 players brought in by United. So here's their lineup: Andre Onana in goal, a back 4 of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Rafael Varane, Lisandro Martinez and Diogo Dalot. Casemiro is partnered by Christian Eriksen in front of that back 4, and then Anthony, Bruno Fernandes the captain, and Marcus Rashford behind Anthony Martial in attack. The United bench: Dean Henderson is the sub-keeper, Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire, Jadon Sancho, Facundo Pellistri, Scott McTominay, Alvaro Fernandez, Dan Gore, who's been getting rave reviews in the Manchester United under-21 side, and Alejandro Garnacho. For Nottingham Forest, they got their first win of the season 8 days ago, live on TalkSport, when they beat Sheffield United late on with a Chris Wood header. But Wood is not rewarded with a start here today. There are 2 changes though for Steve Cooper. Ola Aina and Ryan Yates come into the Forest starting lineup. Nico Williams and Aaron Mangala drop out from that team that beats the Blades. But Gonzalo Montiel, new arrival, Argentinian World Cup winner, is amongst the Forest substitutes. Matt Turner is in goal for Forest. Willy Bolly, Joe Worrell and Scott McKenna, their back 3. 4 across midfield from right to left: Serge Aurier, Danilo, Ryan Yates and Ola Aina. Brennan Johnson, Taiwo Awoniyi and Morgan Gibbs-White are the front 3 for Forest in their bench. Ethan Horvath is the sub-keeper. Nico Williams, Chet Kouyaté, Chris Wood, Moussa Niakate, former Manchester United man Anthony Elanga, recently arrived at Forest, Remo Freuler, Gonzalo Montiel and Hwang Ui-jo. Clear that Nottingham Forest have won the coin toss. We're sat halfway up the Sir Bobby Charlton stand, the south stand here at Old Trafford, with the east stand to our right, and in the southeast corner the Nottingham Forest fans, the Stretford end away to our left hand side, and that is the end that Manchester United will be kicking towards in the first half in their red shirts, white shorts, black socks. Forest in their change strip that's got a whiff of Coventry City about it. White shirts with sky blue flecks and sky blue shorts and socks, and Forest will be kicking towards that east stand to our right in this first half. We'll keep you updated with all the scores from elsewhere. We're underway at Old Trafford on TalkSport. Manchester United then in possession, and Dalot playing in this left back position that he has played in before when him and Wan-Bissaka have been in the same starting lineup. That's the way that they do it. Lisandro Martinez lays the ball off to Casemiro, dropping deep and immediately trying to float a long ball downfield looking for Anthony, but it's dealt with by Scott McKenna at the back. Eriksson tries to nod it down. Willy Bolly finds Danilo, lovely little spin from Danilo, but then he ran into trouble and United have it back, and it's Anthony going for goal from the edge of the area and just clawed wide somewhat uncertainly by Matt Turner. It's an early corner to Manchester United, 0-0.
I really love that he did it so quickly. Anthony had that picture in his mind already as that ball got fed into his left foot. He just rolled his studs over the top of it into position and then curled it towards that far corner. And then Turner in the end, I think, wasn't expecting it, which is why he didn't quite grasp it and went behind for a corner.
So And an early goal at the Emirates Stadium. We'll be there in a minute, but there's the corner for Manchester United at the Stretford end where it meets the Bobby Charlton. Bruno Fernandes, the United captain, to take it. Right-footed in-swinger, whips it into the near post. It goes along the 6-yard line. Forest will get it half clear, so let's go to the Emirates. Ray Parlour and Alex Crook.
And what a story we could have here. Arsenal 0, Fulham 1. A disaster for Arsenal. Bukayo Saka with a needless pass back into his own half on the halfway line. Seized upon by Andreas Pereira. Ramsdale out of position. 1-0 Fulham.
Manchester United have got a goal behind. Nottingham Forest score at Old Trafford, and Taiwo Awoniyi broke clear from inside his own half, showed the United centre-halves a clean pair of heels, waited for the goalkeeper Onana to commit himself, slipped it underneath him, and Awoniyi has now scored another goal in successive games for Nottingham Forest. The southeast corner goes berserk. The rest of Old Trafford silent. Manchester United 0, Nottingham Forest 1.
Oh, disastrous start for Manchester United. And I tell you what, the one player he didn't want the ball to fall to was Awoniyi. And when he got his hot head up, it was a Manchester United corner. It got cleared to the halfway line. He then headed it beyond the defender. The one person he would have loved to have seen in that defensive position, Marcus Rashford. He just shrugged him aside, ran in towards Onana. Marcus Rashford tried to get back and tried to tackle Awoniyi, inadvertently kicked it against the forward into the back of the net. Lucky in the end for Awoniyi, but still, what a start for Nottingham Forest.
1-0 to Nottingham Forest at Old Trafford. It's the first goal they've scored against Manchester United since winning promotion, and Brennan Johnson scampering down the near side, nudged over by Diogo Dalot, and Nottingham Forest now have a free kick 10 yards from the corner flag, away to our right at the east stand end, and those Forest fans in the southeast corner can barely believe what they've seen.
I have to say, I mean, looking back at the goal on the monitor in front of me, Marcus Rashford, I'm sorry, it was pathetic defending. First of all, to commit yourself when Awoniyi just headed it past you, and then you got yourself back into a position. Awoniyi took an age to get the ball under control. You had the chance to tackle, and then a pathetic effort in the end to allow Awoniyi to put it into the back of the net.
Morgan Gibbs-White with this free kick. It's almost like a short corner for Nottingham Forest, away on the right-hand side of the area, 4 or 5 yards in from this near touchline. Holds his left arm aloft, dinks it in right-footed, 6 yards out, and it's headed in for 2-0! Goodness me! Nottingham Forest 2 clear! Willy Bolly with a free header, 6 yards out. Manchester United are going to pieces early on here at Old Trafford, and Nottingham Forest 2-0 up in the blink of an eye. Not even 4 minutes on the watch, and it's Manchester United 0, Nottingham Forest 2.
Well, this is ridiculous. What a start with their away record. Nottingham Forest 2-0 ahead, and I tell you what, it's a slice of luck. It was glanced away as the cross was put in by Gibbs-White. It was glanced away. Willy Bolly, it hits him flush on the nose. He knows nothing about it. Flush on the nose, flashes past Onana, who can do absolutely nothing because he wasn't expecting it. What a start.
Willy Bolly's only scored 1 goal for Nottingham Forest before today. That was in the EFL Cup against Wolves. He's now doubled Nottingham Forest lead early on here on Talksport at Old Trafford. What a task now for Erik ten Hag, who walks to the edge of his technical area, hands in pockets. 92 seconds it took Forest to hit the front through Taiwo Awoniyi, and then within 4 minutes it's 2, thanks to Willy Bolly. And all you can hear are the Forest fans to our right. Eriksson rolls the ball back to halfway. Not often a team comes to Old Trafford and scores 2 goals without reply, Dean Ashton.
No, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Now down the right-hand side, Wan-Bissaka pulls the ball back to the edge of the area, cleared away from Rashford. Casemiro tries an ambitious drive, comes back out to Bruno Fernandes. Christian Eriksen trying to turn at the edge of the D. Forest brought it clear. They're on the counter-attack again, and it's Gibbs-White slipping the ball out left. He was trying to get Danilo away down the inside left channel, but he was just caught. So as you've heard, Fulham lead at Arsenal We'll go back to Alex Crook and Ray Parlour in a minute, but here on Talksport at Old Trafford, Nottingham Forest have made an electric start here at the Theatre of Dreams. If you're just tuning in, Manchester United 0, Nottingham Forest 2. We played 6 minutes at Old Trafford. Martinez in the centre circle for the Red Devils. Varane, and now Wan-Bissaka on the halfway line, suddenly runs past Gibbs-White, motors into the Forest half. United attacking the Stretford end. Anthony coming in field from the right-hand side. Casemiro tried to turn it round the corner, but it'll just trickle over the dead ball line with nobody in a red shirt chasing it. Goal kick to Nottingham Forest, 0-2.
I don't say this lightly, but I actually think Ten Hag needs to make a change already. That midfield, it was spoken about in the week. Casemiro left completely on his own, and it's so obvious. Steve Cooper's seen that, and he said to his front three, the minute you get it, just run at that midfield. Casemiro's lucky actually not to have got a yellow card when he went flying in to Gibbs-White on the edge of the Nottingham Forest box. He needs that support alongside him still.
That's former West Ham and Norwich striker Dean Ashton alongside me. Ian Danter here at Old Trafford. You're with Talksport. 7 gone. Manchester United 0, Nottingham Forest 2. Owen making it 7 goals in 7 games. He's eclipsed big Stan Collimore's record of scoring in 6 successive Nottingham Forest matches. In fact, Stan was on the goal scoring sheet the last time Nottingham Forest won here, and Stuart Pearce, who we've just heard at Bournemouth, was also on the score sheet that day for Nottingham Forest. 2-0 up they are in the centre circle. Lisandro Martinez finds Varane, his centre-half partner. Both shown a clean pair of heels by Awani for that run from halfway to put Forest ahead. McKenna heads clear out to the left-hand side, looking for Gibbs-White, but it's won back by Wan-Bissaka. Tucked in field for Casemiro. He lays it off to Lisandro Martinez at the edge of the centre circle. Back for Casemiro, centre of the Forest half. Rolls it up to the captain, Bruno Fernandes. Twisting and turning away from the attentions of Danilo. Lincoln lead Blackpool in League One. Dan Mandria with a penalty early on for the Imps of the LNER. And a goal at St Andrews in the Championship. Dave Rowe.
Birmingham 1, Plymouth 0. Scott Hogan's first goal since early February. He won the first stick on from the long clearance forward out towards the left-hand side for Mayoshi. He crossed in, and Hogan sliding in to fire home. Birmingham 1, Plymouth 0.
Fernandes wins a corner for Manchester United. Goal at Portman Road. Joe Shannon.
Top of the table, Ipswich 1, Leeds 0. Caden Jackson's left wing cross turned into his own net for an own goal by Leeds' Joe Roden. Ipswich 1, Leeds 0.
Manchester United corner, 2-0 down. It's at the Stretford end on the far side where it meets the Sir Alex Ferguson, to be taken by Bruno Fernandes. Right-footed outswinger into the near post, deflects away to the far post. Martial thinks his first touch in the game, works it back to Rashford down the left-hand side of the Forest box. He rolls it back to Wan-Bissaka, trying to make room for a shot at the edge of the D, then sends it out wide to Fernandes. Eriksson teases the ball back into the area, but it's Aina heading it clear for Nottingham Forest. Back with Wan-Bissaka, who brings the ball down calmly midway point of the Forest half. Dark clouds above Manchester United, both literally and metaphorically at the moment. Manchester United 2-0 down if you're just tuning into Talksport. Dallo back for Martinez.
Obviously, with the 2-0 lead, Nottingham Forest can just sit there, soak this up, make it really difficult, knowing as well that they've got that real threat on the break if they do win the ball back.
Well, here's Martinez looking for Bruno Fernandes. Going to have to play his captain's role to the fore this afternoon. Bruno Fernandes. Forest enjoying themselves here. Fernandes again, clipping the ball down the right-hand side, looking to get Anthony in behind Aina, who's trying to protect the ball. Thought he could let it run out of play, but actually did really well, Aina, just to shield it and then volley it clear downfield. But Awani's chest down is picked up by Dallo. Fernandes again for Manchester United. Dallo once again, middle of the Forest half, up to Martial, making his 300th Manchester United appearance today. 88 goals in his previous 299. Bolly intercepts the ball on the edge of his own area, can't find Yates. It's a poor pass, picked up by Dallo down the left-hand side. The Manchester United fans roar their team on, looking for a quick response to going 2-0 down here. 10 gone. Ball's at the edge of the area. Eriksson lays it back 10 yards or so to Fernandes. Goes for goal straight into the grateful chest of Matt Turner. 11 minutes gone. Oxford United lead Charlton by 1-0 in League One. Tyler Goodrum for the U's, who've started well this season. Oxford, 3 straight wins for them. Nottingham Forest looking for 2 straight wins of their own in the Premier League. And remember, they only won once away from home all last season. That was at Southampton in January. Wan-Bissaka down the right-hand side for Manchester United. Looks for Anthony, threads the ball down the line. He clips it back to Varane and Martinez. Stood at the edge of the technical area. Hibs 0, Livingston 1 in Scotland. Jordan Abita with an own goal, putting Livy in front. Willy Bolly wins the ball back, showing good strength to muscle Marcus Rashford off the ball. We've heard that already from Dean Ashton this afternoon about Rashford being outfought. And then Awani wins a throw-in on halfway. Another goal at Portman Road, Joe Shannon.
10 gone, Ipswich 1, Leeds 1, equaliser for Leeds from Jorginho Ruter. His first goal for the club, rolled in off the post. Ipswich 1, Leeds 1.
Talksport at Old Trafford. Our live commentary here, Manchester United 0, Nottingham Forest 2. Don't forget our more traditional around the ground service with Adrian Durham will resume from next weekend with goals as they go in. We'll be at Chelsea, Nottingham Forest next Saturday on Talksport 2. Myself and Perry Groves will be at Stamford Bridge. Norwich lead at Huddersfield. Josh Sargent gives the Canaries the lead. Huddersfield 0, Norwich 1 in the Championship. You're with Talksport at Old Trafford. 12 minutes gone. And Nottingham Forest 2 goals to the good. Gibbs White trying to win the ball midway point of his own half. Good strength from Ryan Yates to outmuscle Ericsson. Then he's clipped by Bruno Fernandes. And Nottingham Forest win a free kick. Dean Ashton.
I mean, it needs patience, doesn't it? It's so early on in the game. You've got to think, well, we'll just keep chipping away. Manchester United got to try and look to... You don't have to force it. Have to just try and create those chances. It might be from distance if Nottingham Forest are going to be so deep.
Poor goal kick from Matt Turner, but no harm done, it seems, for Nottingham Forest, although Volley's just giving it away down the right-hand side for Forest, and Dallow picks it up, but the ball's gone out of play for a throw. Goal at the New York Stadium in the Championship. Talksport's Mark Wilson.
Yeah, Rotherham 0, Leicester 1. Good work from Iheanacho in the box. Left-footed cross over the keeper. There was Casey McAteer to head it home. 13 gone. Rotherham 0, Leicester 1.
And the rain starts to fall at Old Trafford, making the already watered surface just that little bit extra greasy. Manchester United 0, Nottingham Forest 2. Here's Casemiro for the home side. Plays a square ball to Martinez, 20 yards inside the Forest half. Then Martial looks for Rashford. Gives it back to Martial, drifting out towards the near side to us. The United after he's given the ball away. And away comes Brennan Johnson for Nottingham Forest. Was he caught there by Casemiro? Well, he's holding his right ankle. It's going to be a throw-in at the very least in Nottingham Forest. The ball went out right next to where Erik ten Hag is stood at the edge of his technical area. What did you make of that challenge by Casemiro on Johnson?
It was an excellent challenge. He got the ball. It's just really unfortunate that as Casemiro slides in, his trailing leg, Brennan Johnson, actually just falls underneath Casemiro's body, and I think he just rolls his ankle.
Let's get an update after Fulham take the lead early on at Arsenal. Alex Crook and Ray Parlour.
Still Arsenal 0, Fulham 1. Andreas Pereira with the goal inside the first minute after seizing upon a rare error from Bukayo Saka and catching Aaron Ramsdale off his line. Arsenal really should be level. Saka nodding the ball across the 6-yard box. In came Kai Havertz, could only poke wide. Arsenal 0, Fulham 1.
Let's check in at Goodison Park, early stages there. Talksport, Steve Huddersall.
Goalless after 14 minutes. Everton bright though, and Danjuma should have made it 1-0. Clean through, one-on-one with Sarr. His shot is somehow tipped onto the post. Big let off for Wolves. Everton 0, Wolves 0.
Manchester United coming forward, 2-0 down. It's with Rafael Varane, who's moved inside the Forest half. Anthony clips it in field to Casemiro. Out to the left-hand side, and Marcus Rashford attacking the left-hand corner of the box. It's laid off by Martial to Casemiro, but his intended ball for Anthony is won back by Danilo, who shovels it back to his keeper, and Turner will clear. Let's check in at the G-Tech in the Premier League. With Talksport's Ollie Klink.
15 gone, Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 0. Pretty quiet here, Dance. Johan Vissers had the ball in the net, but he was absolutely miles offside, and these two cancelling each other out so far. Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 0.
Another goal at Portman Road in the Championship. Joe Shannon.
Ipswich 1, Leeds 2. Wilfred Gnonto back in the Leeds side, and on the score sheet, turning home Sam Byram's cross. Ipswich 1, Leeds 2.
Leeds yet to win in the Championship. What a day to turn that around against high-flying Ipswich. Stanhousemuir Dumbarton 1 in Scotland. Motherwell 0, Kilmarnock 1. Here come Manchester United again, 2-0 down at home to Nottingham Forest. And it's laid off to the right-hand side by Casemiro to Fernandes. Now it has to go back to Lisandro Martinez. Forest have got everybody back behind the ball in their own defensive third as they defend the Stretford end. Fernandes goes for goal from distance, palmed away by Turner. Back with Manchester United, left-hand side of the box. Rashford driving for the byline, across the 6-yard line, and is turned in by Christian Eriksen to halve the deficit. Great work from Rashford. Drove for the byline, got past Aurier, pulled it back, and Eriksen flicked it in nonchalantly right in front of goal. And it's Manchester United 1, Nottingham Forest 2.
And that's why he should be out on the left-hand side, Marcus Rashford, because he's so difficult to defend against. He faces up Serge Aurier when this ball comes back from Anthony Martial. He faces him up as if he's going to cross it with his right foot, and then he just bursts past Aurier, gets to the byline, crosses it in towards Eriksen. I tell you what a clever finish. Just leaves the outside of his foot there to use the pace on the ball to flick it into the back of the net.
Manchester United 1, Nottingham Forest 2 on Talksport already. It's an absolute gizbuster of a game. Love it. Long ball forward looking for Oweni's, overhit, and the ball's back with Onana. And the atmosphere, which was already bristling around here, it's just gone up a notch. There's a goal at the G-Tech. Ollie Klink.
Brentford 1, Crystal Palace 0. What a goal by Kevin Schade. He ran past Joe Ward into the box and then fired it into the top right-hand corner, and the Bees lead. 18 minutes gone. Brentford 1, Crystal Palace 0.
And Norwich are 2-0 up at Huddersfield in the Championship, and Ashley Barnes' penalty at the John Smiths. Manchester United 1, Nottingham Forest 2 here on Talksport with 18 minutes gone at Old Trafford. Here's Christian Eriksen, who's just so cleverly brought United back into this game. Finding Casemiro, midway point of the half. Early ball into the box, looking for Martial. Brave header clear from Willy Bolly coming across the 6-yard line when McAllister thought he was in with a chance of tapping it home for 2-2.
Yeah, it's a brilliant cross, wasn't it? In towards Anthony Martial, but Willy Bolly playing that right-hand side of a back three, just made sure he covered. Really impressive defending to spot that danger, come across and head that away.
Rain teeming down at Old Trafford as Manchester United come forward again. It's with Casemiro up to the right-hand corner of the box. Forest win it back, but they can't counter-attack. Manchester United have got them hemmed in. It's not really the 89th minute, not the 20th minute. Manchester United 1, Forest 2. Dean Ashton.
Big problem is though, and if I'm Matt Turner, I'm telling my defence, you've got to get out. That goal came from originally a shot from Fernandes that he had to spill because of this greasy, wet surface because of the rain, and that's then where the chance came from. Got to get out. It's okay being deep, but you've got to go and press within that structure.
Ball's back with Lisandro Martinez. Then Varane looks up to the edge of the area. Forest win it back, but it's poked out of play for a throw-in. You're listening to Manchester United 1, Nottingham Forest 2 on Talksport with Now. Don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action as United get a shot in, but it's well saved by Turner. All the Sky Sports action, like Brighton against West Ham, live today for £11.99 with no contract. Just search Now Sports for all the details. Harrogate lead Morecambe by a 1-0. That's in League 2. Harrogate, who've lost their last 3, take the lead through a Luke Armstrong penalty at Wetherby Road. And another goal at Portman Road. Talksport's Joe Shannon.
Get this, Ipswich 1, Leeds 3. A debut goal for Joel Pirro, tapping home from 6 yards after Luis Sinisterra's shot was saved. Leeds were behind early on, but they've scored 3 since then. Ipswich 1, Leeds 3.
And Bristol Rovers 0, Wickham 1 in League 1. Joe Lowe puts Wickham ahead there, unbeaten in 5 against Bristol Rovers. Now Forrest are coming forward. Strong run down the left-hand side by Iina, but it forced a challenge from Wan-Bissaka, and it's out of play for a Nottingham Forest throw. But the United fans in that Alex Ferguson stand opposite convinced that it should be a Manchester United throw. 2-1 Forest.
Possibly. It's a brilliant run by Iina. But I'm sorry, you don't get past the sliding challenge of Wan-Bissaka. Does anyone ever?
He's very good at that, but it is a long throw that Ola Aina is preparing to launch into the Manchester United penalty area. 21 minutes gone, Forest 2-1 up. He's been told to get on with it. In it comes from Aina. Bolly looked to head the ball on at the near post, but Manchester United get it clear. But for once, Forest had them hemmed in, but the long ball downfield allows Manchester United's back line to push up to the midway point of the half. Turner, the Forest keeper, plays a diagonal ball right to left. It's headed up by Bolly, picked up down the left-hand side by Aina, drives the ball into the area. Varane with a very calm clearance along the deck. And now Rashford looks for Martial on halfway, forced back into his own half by Joe Worrell, who then nudges him to the ground, and that's a free kick to Manchester United. 2-1 to Nottingham Forest. Dean Ashton.
They've just tried to really up the tempo, Manchester United, and Nottingham Forest can't really get out. They've got to do more than just lump it towards Awani. Got to try and look for Gibbs White and Brennan Johnson into feet.
Wan-Bissaka striding down the right-hand side, ball's out of play for a Manchester United throw as they attack the Stretford end. Wigan Athletic are down to 10 men at home to Barnsley. It's 0-0 there, but Charlie Hughes has been given a straight red card at the DW. Lissandro Martinez for Manchester United, just ahead of the centre circle. Finds Dalot to his left. Rashford has got chalk on his boots on this near touchline, but the ball's not gone to the left, it's gone over to the United right. And Fernandes, who clips an early cross in, headed away, half cleared by Scott McKenna. Awani turns, tries to motor towards the halfway line, but Martinez across on the cover to win it back for Manchester United. Martinez just holding out his arms just to say calm down to his teammates ahead of him. Strokes the ball to his left for Varane. Now Dalot gives it back to the French centre-half. Strides forward towards the centre of the Forest half. Eriksson, whose deft flick has got United back in this game after those early goals from Awani and from Bolly. Rashford, left-hand side, this is where United's first goal came from. Gets to the byline, actually runs out of room. Couldn't get the cross in. There were 2 Forest defenders converging on him, and that put him off his stride. And it ends up being a Nottingham Forest goal kick. 2-1. He's to Nottingham Forest team.
He's pretty free though. Every time Marcus Rashford, Serge Aurier doesn't really want to go out there too soon. It was just a misstep really from Marcus Rashford there as he tried to do a double step over. But Manchester United just need to switch the play quickly, and that's where all the space is out wide.
Turner, the Nottingham Forest keeper, will fire a straight ball downfield looking for Awani. Tries to chest the ball down under pressure from Varane. Went to ground, looked at the referee Stuart Atwell for a free kick, which wasn't coming. And Manchester United have it back. Wan-Bissaka gets up to the halfway line on the far right-hand side, with Manchester United attacking the Stretford end to our left in this first half. Eriksson brought into the side today with Mason Mount out injured for an unspecified spell, certainly till after the international break. Anthony on the right for United. Casemiro tucks it out to his captain. Bruno Fernandes hugging the right-hand touchline. It goes infield. McKenna steps in front of Casemiro to put the ball out of play. Peterborough 1, Derby 0 in League 1, and Johnson Clark-Harris opens the scoring at London Road against Derby County. Ball floated up to the edge of the Forest area. McKenna heads it clear. It's kept in play by Anthony. Anthony down to the byline, pass into the edge of the area. Fernandez gets a shot, it's blocked behind for a corner. Goal in the Championship of the Hawthorns. Talksport, Adam Bridge.
West Bromwich Albion 1 and Middlesbrough 0. Cedric Kipre with his second goal for the Baggies. A long throw into the box, smart finish from around the penalty spot. 22 minutes played, West Bromwich Albion 1, Middlesbrough 0.
And Salford 0, Accrington 1 in League 2, Sean Wally. Manchester United 2-1 down, have a corner with 25 minutes gone on Talksport. Bruno Fernandes to take it, where the Stretford end meets the Sir Alex Ferguson stand. Right-footed into the near post, right across the facing goal, and how on earth did that not get turned in by Casemiro? He was a yard in front of goal, the ball bounced right in front of him, he just couldn't stretch his neck muscles to apply the finish, and unbelievably it remains 2-1 to Nottingham Forest.
Did he just close his eyes? How has he missed this? It just misses everyone. Casemiro's there. Turner doesn't even really flick a hand out, so it's not as if that would put him off. He's 3 yards out with the goal at his mercy and just puts it wide.
It's Manchester United 1, Nottingham Forest 2. You're with Talksport at Old Trafford. Ball's back with Willie Bolly at centre half. Back to Joe Worrell. One of the back three. McKenna, the other centre half, slides it out to Ola Aina, who listeners might remember having a spell at Fulham. He was a Chelsea youngster, Ola Aina. Didn't make the grade at Stamford Bridge. He's been at Torino most recently before his move to Nottingham Forest. Can play at right or left wing back. Now here's Gibbs White. Nottingham Forest coming forward, and it's Serge Aurier. Deep cross to the far post, looking for Awadi. Of course, he got 2 assists in the win against Sheffield United, Aurier, but that cross beyond the big number 9, and Manchester United have a goal kick. 1-2 the score.
First time for a while actually they've played through Manchester United. Got the ball into Gibbs White, he combined well with Danilo, then the ball out towards Serge Aurier, who could then look to cross. That's what they need to do. They've sat back, you're right, Dan, as if it is the 89th minute. We've only just gone past 25.
Here's Anthony for Manchester United, nutmegs Danilo, but it's won back by Awani, and he sets Brennan Johnson away. Plenty of green grass to scamper into as he moves into the Manchester United half. Gets to about 25 yards out, plays the ball infield to Gibbs White, who's there to help him. They slow the move down, Nottingham Forest, and then it's worked back to halfway. England 8, Fiji 0 in the rugby. Johnny May with a try, back with a bang for England's rugby union players, their last game before the Rugby World Cup. Lots of rugby live on Talksport 2 after England Fiji, Scotland Georgia at 5:15, Ireland Samoa at 7:30, all on Talksport 2, back to back rugby internationals. And tonight, Usyk against Dubois, live from Wrocław in Poland, 9 p.m. with Adam Cattrall and our Fight Night team for all those heavyweight belts on the line. The Ukrainian Usyk against Dynamite Dubois. We'll bring you that fight live and free tonight on Talksport. Now here's Rafael Varane for Manchester United, who trail by 2-1. Out to the right wing, Anthony, the chance to put a first-time cross in it, elects to have a run at Aina, then clips the ball too high to the far post. It's gone behind everybody and out of play for a Forest goal kick. 10-man Wigan 0, Barnsley 1. Barnsley lead at the DW now after Devante Cole has put them ahead. And it's a goal kick to Nottingham Forest as we tick round towards the half-hour mark here on Talksport. And at least we saw in the last couple of minutes there for Nottingham Forest, Dean Ashton, that they were able to work the ball further downfield rather than being hemmed in as they have been for the previous 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's the first time it felt like a genuine football match rather than a mad, chaotic start. It was better from Nottingham Forest. You've got to try and play at least, or else you are just going to be sat there waiting for Manchester United to score against you.
Aina plays the ball up to the edge of the area looking for Morgan Gibbs-White, but it was well dealt with by Varane, who tracked the run. Downfield it goes for Anthony. Manchester United on the counter. He's got Martial and Rashford in the box. Martial tries to turn inside Bolly, but he couldn't find either a pass for Rashford or a shot on goal, and it's cleared downfield, and Awani's after it again. Offside flag goes up against him, no. Another goal at the Hawthorns in the Championship. Talksport's Adam Bridge.
It's 2 in 5 minutes. West Bromwich Albion 2, Middlesbrough 0. John Swift picking it up midway inside the Borough half, charged to the edge of the box and unleashed an unstoppable shot into the top right-hand corner. West Bromwich Albion 2, Middlesbrough 0.
Mansfield 1, Stockport 1. That game kicked off late because of a torrential downpour at the one call. George Maris equalising for Mansfield. And Peterborough 1, Derby 1. Martin Waghorn equalises for Derby County. Cross into the box is headed clear by Willie Bolly for Nottingham Forest, and Aina looks for a clearance, but Anthony wins it back. It's put into the box. Bolly again heads it clear. Will be off to St Mary's for a Championship goal in just a minute on Talksport. But here are Manchester United again, looking for what would be an equaliser. They're 2-1 down. Diogo Dallo, left-hand side, whips across, and it's behind for a goal kick, or is it? No, it's actually gone out for a throw on the far side. So let's get to the South Coast in the Championship. Talksport, Ian Abrahams.
Southampton 1, QPR 0. Sam Edozie with the goal, cutting in from the right-hand side onto his right foot. His shot parried into the net by Asmir Begovic. It's Southampton 1, QPR 0.
And what's going on at the Emirates in the Premier League? Talksport's Ray Parler and Alex Crook.
It's still Arsenal 0, Fulham 1. Bukayo Saka has just headed onto the roof of the net from 5 yards out. Fulham at the other end. Raul Jimenez very close to finding the top corner with an overhead kick. Good game this. Arsenal 0, Fulham 1.
And let's quickly check in at the G-Tech as well whilst we're at it with Talksport's Ollie Klink.
Brentford 1, Crystal Palace 0. It's bucketing down here, Lance. Not much response from Palace since Shada's opener for Brentford, and they're looking comfortable. Brentford 1, Crystal Palace 0.
Leyton Orient 1, Cambridge 0 in League 1. Shaka Ford putting the O's ahead at Brisbane Road. Another goal at the Hawthorns, Adam Bridge.
West Bromwich Albion 2, Middlesbrough 1. Immediately back in it are Borough. The goal coming this time from Emmanuel Latte-Lap. It was a cross from the right from Silvera, nodded past Palmer. It's game on here. West Bromwich Albion 2, Middlesbrough 1.
I hope Latte-Lap didn't cost a lot. Down on the right-hand side, Nottingham Forest in possession with Brennan Johnson. Good ball, slid in for Taiwo Awoniyi down the right-hand side of the area. Needs support. Morgan Gibbs-White trying to arrive, but the cross from Awoniyi is a bit weak and comfortably claimed by Onana. Let's check in at Goodison Park in that big game at the bottom of the fledgling Premier League table. Steve Huddersall.
32 gone, Everton 0, Wolves 0. Everton with the better of this contest, produced some good attacks with Dan Juma at the centre of 3 chances, and Tarkowski should really have made it 1-0, but he slashed wide in front of goal in the best opportunity. Wolves yet to announce themselves. Everton 0, Wolves 0.
It's currently Manchester United 1, Nottingham Forest 2. And for the latest odds, head to Betfair, the official betting partner of Talksport's Premier League coverage, where right now you can get United at 4-5 to win, Forest at 3-1, even though they're ahead. The draw 29-10. Forest and Fulham both to win today. Pre-match was 85-1. Down the right-hand side, Wan-Bissaka gets to the byline, pulls it back. Oh, it's spilled by Tony. Grabs it on the goal line gratefully when he thought he was going to spill it into his own net. So those were the very latest odds. Don't forget, Betfair are paying out winning bets at 90 minutes with 90-minute payout. That applies to match odds, 90 market. All markets with the 90 icon. That's all thanks to Betfair. It's 18+, begambleaware.org. And another goal at St Mary's in the Championship. Talksport, Ian Abrahams.
Southampton 1, QPR 1. Jack Colback's first goal for the Super Hoops. 25 yards out, left-footed shot in via the post. Southampton 1, QPR 1.
With Talksport, Nottingham Forest 2-1 up at Manchester United. And a goal at Deepdale in the Championship. Talksport's Cameron Pope.
Preston 0, Swansea 1. It's Unbeaston Preston playing the better football, but the Swans have taken the lead. Looping ball to the back post, and it's Newcastle loanee Harrison Ashby who hammers it home. Preston 0, Swansea 1.
Manchester United in possession with Lissandro Martinez. Finds Casemiro on the halfway line. Turns and moves into the Forest half. Plays the ball intended for Wan-Bissaka, but intercepted on the Forest left by Aina. And now he combines passes with Awoniyi, who scored Nottingham Forest's first of the afternoon. Remember, these are Forest's first goals against Manchester United since they won promotion. They played 4 times last season, twice in the league, of course, and a 2-legged EFL Cup semi-final. And they came up dry each time, Nottingham Forest.
Talk about efficient. They have scored with both of their attempts, the only 2 attempts they've had.
Well, here's Serge Aurier trying to muscle his way down the right-hand side. Good ball in field. Gibbs-White in the area. Right-hand side. Can he find a teammate? Tried to pull it back. There was no one there to pull it back to. But Varane turned it behind for a Nottingham Forest corner. Forest lead 2-1.
Had to do it earlier. Gibbs White, when he was in that position, he had to either play it in early for Awani, who'd made a great run, or he had to take it himself instead. Opened up brilliantly for him and just made that wrong decision.
MK Dons 2, Doncaster 0 in League 2, Exeter 1, Reading 0 in League 1. And a corner kick in front of those Forest fans in the southeast corner to our right, to be taken by Morgan Gibbs-White, who won the corner. Massive Forest players just behind the penalty spot. Zonal marking from Manchester United around the 6-yard line. Gibbs-White delivers the corner into the near post. It's cleared away by Fernandez. Anthony gets a heavy touch. Fernandez tries to bring it away, but Aurier steps in on good feet from Bruno Fernandez, and he finds Marcus Rashford. Chance for a Manchester United counter. Rashford, 3 Forest players around him, slips and falls, no free kick, and Rashford's down holding his ankle. Don't know whether he fell awkwardly, he's getting slowly to his feet, but Forest have won the ball back after what was a counter-attack that initially had a lot of menace for Manchester United, but they still trail 2-1 here at Old Trafford. Dean Ashton.
Recovered really well though, didn't they, Nottingham Forest, from that counter-attack, as you have to. And I think if you are going to take those risks, then it's fine as long as you're getting back as a group, as they did in that situation.
AFC Wimbledon 1, Forest Green Rovers 0 in League 2. Jimmy Ball will be with AFC Wimbledon live in midweek. They're at Chelsea Wednesday night in the EFL Cup. Live commentary of that game on Talksport 2. Similarly, live commentary on Tuesday night on Talksport 2 of Fulham against Spurs. Spurs, who won earlier today 2-0 at Bournemouth. Again, live on the Talksport network. James Maddison in sparkling form as he settles into his new role in the Tottenham Hotspur midfield. Gibbs-White finds Brennan Johnson for Forest. Forest playing the ball up to the edge of the Manchester United area. Headed clear by Wan-Bissaka. Danilo loses out to Casemiro. Little flick from Anthony. Give and go. Tries to get it back from Casemiro. Nearly did, but that was really good defending for Nottingham Forest from Joe Worrell to step in front of Anthony. And then he was caught late as he released the pass. And that's why you've got the catcalls around us from the Manchester United fans, because Stuart Atwell has given that as a free kick to Nottingham Forest, who lead 2-1 with 8 minutes to half-time on TalkSport.
That's what they do have, that physicality at the back with those back three, Bolly, Worrell and McKenna. If you get side by side with them, they're just going to be too strong for the Manchester United attackers. Worrell was there against Anthony.
Exeter City 1, Reading 0 in League 1. Will Aimson for Exeter. We've got 1 defeat so far in League 1 at Portsmouth. Swindon have just taken the lead against Crawley. Daniel Kemp making it 1-0 at the county ground here at Old Trafford. Forest will be desperate, won't they, Dean Ashton, to get to half-time with a score at least like this in their favour. 2-1 they lead.
Well, I think also then Steve Cooper can just rejig his side, because they've been so deep at times, but giving that space out wide, and that's where pretty much all of Manchester United's attacks and threatening moments have come from.
Martinez for Manchester United moves into the centre of the half again. All the white and light blue shirts of Nottingham Forest are in their own defensive third, trying to plug the gaps. Ball into the area. Eriksson, right hand side, is back to goal, trying to twist and turn. Finds Dallow at the edge of the D. He can't make room for a shot, so he lays it back 5 yards or so to Martinez. Martinez clips the ball out to Rashford. First time ball in field to Casemiro. Rashford has it back again. Not much movement ahead of him, so he drills a lovely ball out to the right hand side of the area, and Anthony faced up by Aina, back to the edge of the area. Fernandez crashes and drive goalwards, blocked away. And Forest trying to get the ball up to the halfway line, but they can't do it. Peterborough 1, Derby 2. Aaron Cashin, the young Irish lad, puts Derby ahead, having been behind at London Road in League 1. Martinez for Manchester United finds Anthony. Right hand side of the penalty area at the Stretford end. In slides Aina, puts the ball behind for a corner kick. There were strangled claims for a penalty kick from some of those United fans at the Stretford end, but corner it is. Forest lead 2-1.
He's just saying, all right, just saying that he got a tiny touch. Lovely bit of skill, flip flat from Anthony, and then just about, he took a risk with the sliding challenge, but just about got it right.
Got a toe end on it. So Fernandes with this Stretford end corner, right hand side for Manchester United. In it comes to the near post, strong header up and out by Willy Bolly, straight back to Fernandes, who guides it down to Christian Eriksen, back out to the right wing of Fernandes, up against Danilo, and also Brennan Johnson's out there trying to help, but Fernandes has kept the ball to the byline, but his ball into the near post has come to be claimed by Matt Turner, who immediately fires the ball downfield looking for Awoniyi, but good defending from Anthony, spotted the run of Awoniyi, went with him and won the header.
A really, really strange defensive situation for Manchester United when they have a corner themselves. They're so high. Normally you have someone in and around the halfway line. They haven't. Their sort of deepest lying defender is well within the half.
Eriksen looking into the box, was headed out by Bolly. Turner didn't give him a call. He was out of position for a moment, the Forest keeper. And Manchester United look to come forward again. Look, Stretford End roaring them on, wanting them level before the break. 5 to half-time on Talksport. It's Manchester United 1, Nottingham Forest 2. Millwall leads Stoke by a goal to nil in the Championship. Kevin Nisbet, having come down from Scotland, opens the scoring for Millwall. Lincoln 2, Blackpool 0. Ethan Erhanen up to the edge of the area. Nottingham Forest trying to defend for their lives here. They've won it back. Serge Aurier looks up, sees Awoniyi on the halfway line, but floats it over his head. A third for Derby County at Peterborough. They're 3-1 up now, the Rams, and it's Martin Waghorn again for Derby County. Martial offside against the Manchester United number 9, making his 300th appearance. So Nottingham Forest have a free kick, and Alan Tate moves away from the technical area to allow Steve Cooper to take his place, because of course you can't have more than one in the technical area these days. And Steve Cooper will be wishing that half-time whistle to blow, but it's not coming anytime yet. 41 minutes gone. You're listening to Talksport in the Premier League. Earlier today, Spurs won 2-0 at Bournemouth. You heard it live on Talksport with Sam and Stewart. Long ball downfield from Matt Turner. Can Morgan Gibbs-White get there? He can. Keeps the ball in play on the near side to us, the Forest right, and then he's pushed to the ground by Lisandro Martinez. And it's a free kick to Nottingham Forest, 10 yards from the dead ball line. Yeah, I've got me Martinez and Anthony mixed up, because they've both got the peroxide blonde hairdo, haven't they, Dean Ashton?
It's not that. It's just Martinez is just so aggressive. It's like he cannot help himself. Like, he has to try and win the ball, even when there's no way he's going to get it. He's just all over Gibbs-White. You had the bleach blonde look once, didn't you? Oh, I did.
You rocked it.
I started it.
You did. Well, fair enough. Some people follow trends, some people set them. Nottingham Forest free kick. They're 2-1 up in the latter stages of the first half here at Old Trafford. Morgan Gibbs-White standing over it, yard in from the touchline, into the near post, headed away by Eriksen. Comes out to Aurier. Poor touch from Aurier. Might be a chance for a counter-attack. It is Anthony in possession on this left-hand side. Goes to the ground, wrestled to the ground by Aurier. That is a yellow card for Serge Aurier, issued almost immediately by Stuart Atwell. Man United have a free kick on halfway. 2-1 they trail though.
Silly, wasn't it, from Serge Aurier, because he had support behind him, so he didn't even need to make that challenge on the bleach blonde-haired Anthony, who was just too quick. Although a little warning, Anthony, look how it ended up.
As I look to my right, I take your point, Dean Ashton. But he's a shaved head these days. Come on, be fair. Fleetwood 0, Shrewsbury 1 in League One. Danny Udo for Shrewsbury. Manchester United trailing here on Talksport against Nottingham Forest as we tick round towards the final minute of normal time in this first half, plus whatever Stuart Atwell wants to add on. Looks like it's going to be 3 minutes of additional time at the end of this first period. Here is Casemiro at the edge of the Forest box. Fernandes pulling it back across the face of goal. Casemiro tries to get something on it, but Ryan Yates did really well, and then Brennan Johnson was caught by his opposite number, Diogo Dalot, and Nottingham Forest will look to take their time as much as they can in this new era of no time wasting with the free kick they've won at the edge of their area. Man United 1, Nottingham Forest 2.
I mean, he'd be so pleased with certain aspects, Steve Cooper, but there'll be lots of it he won't be. He'll feel as if they haven't tried hard enough actually to try and play into midfield, to try and play into Gibbs-White and Brennan Johnson. They've just basically whacked it forward for Awoniyi and hope that he gets on the end of it against two centre-backs, which is so difficult.
Remember, Nottingham Forest beat Arsenal in May with 18% possession of the ball, the lowest ever for a winning side in a Premier League match. I'll check the possession stats for this one. It can't be far off. They're 2-1 up, and they've got, actually, in fairness to Nottingham Forest, a bit more, 28% of the ball. But that's still over 70% to Manchester United, and a few boos greet the fact that it's only 3 minimum additional minutes being added on by referee Stuart Atwell at the end of this first half. Awani wins a free kick, got a shove in the back over on the far side from Rafael Varane, and he slowly gets to his feet. Ian Danter and Dean Ashton with you. A few of the Manchester United players not involved today, including Johnny Evans and Mason Mount and Luke Shaw, make their way down from just to our left-hand side of the director's box back to the players' lounge for their half-time cuppa. Not much for them to enjoy so far this afternoon. Bradford lead Crewe by 1-0 in League Two. Jamie Walker just before half-time, and a yellow card for Morgan Gibbs-White for delaying taking the free kick for too long in the eyes of Stuart Atwell. Yellow card for the Forest number 10. Hat-trick for Martin Waghorn at the London Road. Peterborough 1, Derby County 4. Remember, Derby were 1-0 down in that game. Forest free kick up to the edge of the area. Flicked on by McKenna. Only half cleared for Manchester United. Aurier puts his head in where it hurts, but it will break for Manchester United. McKenna there again, trying to win a header just over the halfway line. Drops for Aurier, he's trying to get everywhere for Nottingham Forest. He's won it back, slides it to his right for Brennan Johnson, centre of the Manchester United half. Yates moving up on his outside. Yates now for Nottingham Forest, finds Brennan Johnson. Great run down towards the byline, right hand side, pulls it back, driven towards goal by Gibbs-White, hits his own man, Awani, on its way to goal, and United survive.
He just can't get out of the way. It's so unfortunate. It's brilliant from Brennan Johnson. He just turns and sees that he's up against Eriksson and just breezes past him towards the byline, cuts back a brilliant cross with lots of pace on it. Gibbs-White controls it magnificently considering how fast it came towards him, and Awani just can't get out of the way because of the strike.
Still Nottingham Forest 2-1 up on Manchester United. Accrington Stanley do 2-0 at Salford just down the road. Josh Andrews with the second for Stanley. Free kick to Manchester United. We're in the final minute of the minimum 3 that Stuart Atwell's added on at the end of this first half. Free kick right on the centre spot. Rolled forward by Bruno Fernandes to Wan-Bissaka, inside right position. Again, Forest got everybody behind the ball. Diagonal ball from Fernandes to the left-hand corner of the box, looking for Anthony, but that's cleared away by Forest, and then Johnson slides down the very steep bank of this near touchline as he slid the ball out of play, and he's done himself an injury. I can't see him from where he slid down. He's only been now getting helped to his feet by his teammate Ryan Yates, but it's such a steep bank here when you get off the edges of the pitch here at Old Trafford. Forest 2-1 up.
Yeah, if you haven't been here, it is probably a good 2 or 3 feet lower than pitch level, straight off the side of the pitch, which is where Brennan Johnson ended up.
Well, the half-time whistle goes in the southeast corner, love it. The Nottingham Forest travelling contingent have held out. They have a 2-1 lead at half-time here against Manchester United, and it only took them 4 minutes to race into that 2-goal lead. It was only 92 seconds on the watch when Taiwo Awani broke clear on halfway and slotted neatly past Andre Onana to put Forest ahead. And then, 3 minutes 53 seconds and a free kick from the right-hand side of the box saw Willy Bolly head the ball past Onana for 2-0. Eriksson responded with a very deft finish with the outside of his right boot from close range to reduce Manchester United's arrears. They've tried to pepper the Forest goal. Matt Turner's had a few dicey moments in the Forest goal, but Forest could equally have had a third when a Gibbs-White shot was blocked on its way to goal by his own man Awani. We're in for a breathless second half here, live on Talksport, that's for sure. At the break, it's Manchester United 1, Nottingham Forest 2.
Wow, what a start to that game, live and exclusive on Talksport, and what a second half to come, again live and exclusive on Talksport. Manchester United 1, Nottingham Forest 2. Well, that is a shock scoreline at the break, and it's a shock scoreline here at the Emirates as well. Here's Ray Parlour and Alex Crook.
Arsenal 0, Fulham 1. The only goal of the game coming inside a minute. Bukayo Saka played a blind pass back towards his own goal. Andreas Pereira sent clean through. Aaron Ramsdale way off his line, and he slipped over as well as the Portuguese Pereira calmly tucked the ball home. Arsenal have had chances to get back on level terms. Kai Havertz couldn't squeeze the ball in from 6 yards. Raul Jimenez blocked bravely from Gabriel Martinelli's acrobatic volley before Saka headed over from 5 yards, and Martinelli then saw his shot turn behind at the near post by Bernd Leno. But Fulham have posed a threat on the counter. Raul Jimenez so close to what would have been an extraordinary first goal for the club as his overhead kick sailed inches over the crossbar. Harry Wilson then cut in on his left foot from the right hand side, and he fired just wide. Ray Parlour, this has been a ding-dong derby, but your old club are behind.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think Fulham have really defended well when they had to. They've got everybody behind the ball, they're closing all the gaps down, and to be fair to Arsenal, they're just not moving it quick enough, and there's two blocks of 4 in front of them, and they're not getting through at the moment. They're trying their best to try and open that gap, but Fulham have done really well. I thought the fullbacks have done really well for Fulham, because Martinelli and Saka, we know they're a massive threat on the wide areas, but they defended very well. So Mikel Arteta will be a little bit frustrated with that first half, but they've got to get better in that final third. They've really struggled in that final third to create real opportunities.
A year ago tomorrow, Adrian, Fulham 1-0 up here at the Emirates. Arsenal scored twice in the final 26 minutes to win by 2-1. Will history be repeated, or will Fulham win on Arsenal soil for the first time in their history? Arsenal 0, Fulham 1.
And it's hammering it down with rain as well. Late goal in the first half at St James Park in Devon. Reading have equalised through Harvey Nibbs. Their summer signing from Cambridge. Exeter 1, Reading 1. Let's find out what's happened in the first 45 at Goodison Park with Steve Othersall.
Well, it's Everton 0, Wolves 0. We know that these two teams struggle with goals, but Everton doing enough to be in front, but their first goal of the season is still evading them. Arnaud Danjuma's had 3 good opportunities to score. The latest, a low volley from Patterson's cross, anywhere on target, surely would have beaten Sarr. Before that, James Tarkowski also with a golden opportunity, but he slashed wide into the side netting. And aside, Everton do need a goal, and we're hearing in the last hour that a deal for the Udinese striker Beto is nearly done, so some positivity for Everton fans. Wolves second best and not fully at the races. They'll be thankful of this scoreline. Everton 0, Wolves 0.
Let's find out what's happened in the first 45 of the G-Tech. Talksport's Ollie Klink.
Brentford 1, Crystal Palace 0 at the break. A wonderful goal from Kevin Schade separates the two sides. It came on 18 minutes. He drifted in from the left, jinked past Joel Ward before curling a beauty into the top right-hand corner. A lovely way for him to open his account for the Bees. As for Palace, well, they need to show more in attack, Adrian. Eberechi Eze had a shot from range, easily saved by Flecken midway through the first half. And other than that, they've not really created anything. Work to do for them, but the good news for everyone here in West London, the torrential rain has just stopped. Half-time at the G-Tech, it's Brentford 1, Crystal Palace 0.
So you're up to date with the half-times in the Premier League, where it's Arsenal 0, Fulham 1, Brentford 1, Palace 0, Everton goalless with Wolves. And in our commentary game, Man United 1, Nottingham Forest 2, and earlier Spurs went top with a 2-0 win, live on Talksport at Bournemouth. Let's go round the grounds in the Championship, starting at, actually we'll start with a goal late in the first half at Portman Road. Joe Shannon.
Sensational first half at Portman Road. In first half stoppage time, Ipswich 2, Leeds United 3, and Ipswich have a lifeline ahead of the break here. Nathan Broadhead has been able to tap home. It was a real mess for Leeds at the back, involving goalkeeper Ilan Meslier. Got his wires crossed with one of his defenders. The ball was pulled back to the edge of the penalty area, and there was Broadhead to roll it into the back of the net. Leeds had been sensational up to that point. As the half-time whistle goes, Ipswich 2, Leeds United 3. The home side took the lead early on after an own goal from Joe Rodon, but Leeds responded in fine fashion. Jorginho Ruter equalised with his first for the club before Wilfred Gnonto, back in the lead side after previously refusing to play, poked home a goal on his return after a great cross from Sam Byram. At that stage, Ipswich couldn't live with Leeds. Less than 20 minutes on the clock when the visitors got their third. It was a debut goal for new man Joel Pirro. Simple tap it from 6 yards out after Luis Sinisterra's shot was saved. Leeds, as it stands, heading for their first league win under Daniel Farke, but Ipswich with that Broadhead goal almost on the stroke of half-time, battling back, and they will have hope of recovery in the second half. They are 21 games unbeaten, remember, coming into today. At the break, Ipswich 2, Leeds 3.
Wow, what a breathless first half that's been. Let's get half-time at the New York Stadium. Talksport's Mark Wilson.
Yeah, Rotherham 0, Leicester City 1. Leicester in front on 13 minutes. Casey McAteer heading in from close range after good work from Iheanacho down the left. But that goal came against the run of play. Rotherham had the ball in the net early on from a Cafu corner. Hugo got the last touch. It was ruled out after the referee consulted with his assistant. But Leicester since the goal been a better team. McAteer lashed a shot across goal, and right on half-time, 3-on-2 break for Leicester. Dewsbury Hall fed Mavadidi. His shot was weak at the keeper. Leicester need another goal for me here at the break. Rotherham 0, Leicester 1.
Let's head to St Andrews with the first half round-up. It's Dave Rowe.
Birmingham 1, Plymouth 0. The home side ahead early with Scott Hogan's first goal in 17 games. He won the first header, and then with the ball worked out to the left-hand side, Miyoshi crossed for Hogan to slide in the opener. It could have been 2 shortly after. A smart save by Hazard to deny Keshi Anderson. Plymouth really should have scored when it was 0-0. Morgan Whittaker lashing over with a clear chance from a Joe Edwards cross, and Kesler Hayden forced a save from Ruddy after a pull back by Finn Azaz. Decent game here at the break. Birmingham 1, Plymouth 0.
Let's head to St Mary's for half-time. Talksport's Ian Abrahams.
Southampton 1, QPR 1. Saints ahead on half an hour. Sam Inozie firing home. A free kick taken by Flynn Downs, who come on for the injured skipper Jack Stevens. It was played down the left-hand side of Dozie, cutting on his right foot from 15 yards out. He beat Asmir Begovic, who got a hand to it into the far corner. Lead lasted just 2 minutes though. Ball in from the right-hand side, not properly cleared, and it fell to Jack Colback, 25 yards out. Left-footed strike, first time in off the post, past Bazuma, and a minute later QPR had the ball in the net again. Offside they're given against their striker Sinclair Armstrong. Decent game this one. Southampton 1, QPR 1.
Let's take you to Deepdale half-time there, Cameron Pope.
Preston 0, Swansea 1. Newcastle Loney, Harrison Ashby's well taken volley the difference in a game otherwise low on quality, and had Jay Fulton's rapid break through the middle been followed up by a better finish, it might have been 2 just before the break. Preston have played some flowing football but have been wasteful with their many chances. Mesbrkia twice blazing over from close range, with Will Keane's low drive unable to beat Carl Rushworth for what would have been an instant equaliser. Swansea lost star frontman Joel Peru to leave this week, but the backing band are on track for a first league win. Preston 0, Swansea 1.
Let's head to the CBS Arena half-time. Jeff Peters.
It's Coventry 0, Sunderland 0. It's been competitive but lacking real quality. We've had a single decent chance. It came right at the end of the half. The two players returning to the starting lineup combined. Casey Palmer with the clever through ball. Ellis Sims left-hand side of goal. He hit it hard and low. Anthony Patterson saved with his feet to deny the former Sunderland loanee. The visitors with half a dozen shots, none clear-cut and none on target. Half-time, Coventry 0, Sunderland 0.
And we've had goals in the first half at the Hawthorns. Adam Bridge.
We have West Bromwich Albion 2, Middlesbrough 1. 22 minutes of pretty but unproductive football was followed by 3 goals in just 7 minutes. The first coming from a Darnell Furlong long throw that was turned home very nicely by Cedric Kipre. Only his second Albion goal, his first since January 2022 against Posh. The second, a great run by John Swift to the edge of the penalty area. He chipped home unchallenged into the top right-hand corner. But they were only 2 in front for 2 minutes. A first goal in a Middlesbrough shirt for Latte Lat. A lovely cross from the right by Silvera, and the Ivory Coast striker nodding home. Only the second league goal that Borough have scored this season. They should have made it 2-2 4 minutes before half-time. A long ball. Again this time, Latte Lat muscled Kipre out the way, but he blasted over when he should have done better. Good game this. West Bromwich Albion 2, Middlesbrough 1.
Right, let's get the latest from Betfair, the official betting partner of Talksport's Premier League coverage.
Game day on Talksport with Betfair. We're paying out winning bets at 90 minutes with 90-minute payouts. Applies to match odds 90 market or markets with the 90 icon. Sportsbook exclusive. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Well, Sam Rosbottom, let's focus on the Coventry game. Forest with 2 up inside 4 minutes. Manchester United 1, Forest 2 at half-time. Leaves the second half nicely poised.
Yeah, it certainly does. And look, Manchester United were clawing their way back into that one after a disastrous first 5 minutes, weren't they? They are out to 7-4 to turn this around and get the 3 points at Old Trafford. Forest, who were 7-1 pre-match to win the game, have been backed into 31-20. The draw is currently 9-4. If Man United are to get something out of this, then they'll need to get their key players to step up. Rashford to score in the second half, currently 7-5. Casemiro, who missed a sitter, 11-2 to finally put one in the back of the net. I've got to tell you, Adrian, before kick-off, Forest and Fulham were both 85 to 1 to win today, and they both lead at the break.
Amazing. That is football. That's what it can do. Thanks very much for that odds update. All thanks to Betfair. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Game day on Talksport with Betfair. We're paying out winning bets at 90 minutes with 90-minute payout. Applies to match odds 90 market or markets with the 90 icon. Sportsbook exclusive. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
This is Game Day.
Halftime classifieds.
In the Premier League, a full-time Bournemouth 0, Spurs 2. The rest are half-times. Arsenal 0, Fulham 1, Brentford 1, Palace 0, Everton 0, Wolves 0, Man United 1, Forest 2, Brighton West Ham's at 5:30. Championship, Birmingham 1, Plymouth 0, Cardiff 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Coventry 0, Sunderland 0, Huddersfield 0, Norwich 2, Ipswich 2, Leeds 3, Millwall 1, Stoke 0, Preston 0, Swansea 1, Rotherham 0, Leicester 1, Southampton 1, QPR 1, West Brom 2, Middlesbrough 1. In League 1, Bristol Rovers 0, Wycombe 1, Burton 0, Bolton 0, Cheltenham 0, Northampton 0, Exeter 1, Reading 1, Fleetwood 0, Shrewsbury 1, Leyton Orient 1, Cambridge 0, Lincoln 2, Blackpool 0, Oxford 1, Charlton 0, Peterborough 1, Derby 4, Port Vale 0, Carlisle 0, Stevenage 0, Portsmouth 0, Wigan 0, Barnsley 1, League 2, Wimbledon 1, Forest Green 0, Barrow 0, Wrexham 1, Bradford 1, Crewe 0, Gillingham 0, Colchester 0, Harrogate 1, Morecambe 0, Mansfield 1, Stockport 2. That was a delayed kickoff, didn't start till 3:15 because of heavy rain. MK Dons 2, Doncaster 0, Newport 0, Sutton 0, Notts County 1, Tranmere 0, Salford 0, Accrington 2, Swindon 1, Crawley 0, Walsall 0, Grimsby 0. National League, Aldershot 1, Wealdstone 0, Altrincham 0, Chesterfield 1, Borehamwood 0, Oldham 0, Dagenham Redbridge 0, Barnet 0, Dorking 1, York 0, Ebbsfleet 3, Kidderminster 0, Gateshead 1, Woking 0, Maidenhead 0, Oxford City 0 and Hartlepool AFC Files at 5:30. Scottish Premiership a result, Ross County 0, Rangers 2, Celtic 0, St Johnstone 0, Hibs 0, Livingston 1, Motherwell 0, Kilmarnock 1. Scottish Championship, Airdrie 2, Inverness Caledonia Thistle 0, Ayr United 0, Dundee United 0, Dunfermline 0, Raith Rovers 1, Morton 0, Arbroath 1, Partick 2, Queen's Park 1. Scottish League 1, Annan Athletic 1, Edinburgh City 2, Cove Rangers 0, Queen of the South 2, Hamilton 1, Montrose 0, Stirling 0, Kelty Hearts 0, Alloa Falkirks at 5:30, and in Scottish League 2, Elgin 1, East Fife 0, Forfar 0, Bonnyrigg Rose 1, Peterhead 0, the Spartans 0, St Housewell 0, Dumbarton 4, Stranraer 0, Clyde 0.
Game Day Live on Talksport with Now. Stream the Premier League where every match matters. Live for £26 a month for 12 months, no contract. Offer ends 3rd September. Search Now Sports. 18 plus. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
Football's back, and so is the ultimate coverage with the Sun's free pull-out goals! With the best writers pitch side for in-depth match reports, it's all about goals! And with unrivaled news from the Premier League to League 2, it has to be goals! Get your free copy of Goals every Saturday, Sunday and Monday in the Sun.
Screwfix Sprint delivery. Hear the weekend's biggest Premier League action.
The big guns are out.
Game Day Live
on Talksport.
Second half's getting underway, including in our commentary game at Old Trafford. Man United 1, Forest 2. Here's Dean Ashton and Ian Danter.
Thanks, Adrian. And Manchester United are planning a change at half-time. Victor Lindelof, the Swedish centre-half, doing a fairly vigorous warm-up routine with the coaching staff during the half-time interval, and he's being brought on. Just looking to see, is it Varane that's gone off? It is indeed Rafael Varane that's been hooked at half-time. Dean Ashton, your reaction to that change from Erik ten Hag at the turnaround?
I can only think it's an injury, because he was probably the best at covering that long ball over the top for Awani, so you can only assume it's an injury.
So Victor Lindelof is on in Varane's place. Nottingham Forest will get us back underway. Remember, their only Premier League win here was back in 1994 in December, when they won by 2-1, and they lead by that exact same scoreline as we kick off at the start of the second half. Forest attacking the Stretford end to our left in their change strip of white and light blue shirts, sky blue shorts and socks. Manchester United will be attacking the east stand to our right in their traditional red shirts, white shorts and black socks. I'll run you through the lineups in a minute. Here's Fernandez looking to find Martial inside the area, claimed by Matt Turner. So United now have Onana in goal. It's Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Martinez and Dalot in a back four. Casemiro and Eriksen, Anthony, Fernandez and Rashford behind Martial. For Forest, it's the same 11 that started the game. As Awadi is giving chase downfield up against Lindelof. Wins it inside the area. Gibbs White calling for it inside the area, tries to pirouette and get away from Martinez. He's still got it, Gibbs White. Tries to pull it back across the facing goal and it just didn't make it through to Brendan Johnson. Diogo Dalot stuck out a long leg and kept it away from Johnson. Otherwise, it would surely have been 3-1 to Nottingham Forest, Dean Ashton.
Oh, just score, Gibbs White. You've done all the good work. You're right close to goal. Onana's in front of you. Do something clever. Flick it past him into the roof of the net. You're trying a really difficult ball to your teammate. Just put it in the back of the net.
Gareth Southgate watching on today, just to our left in the director's box here at Old Trafford. Gibbs White must be on his radar.
I have to say, though, that ball over the top for Awani, he ended up picking it up almost near the 6-yard box, which actually, Onana, how he's not come out and just collected that, he retreated right back onto his goal line.
Forest lineup, Turner in goal, back three of Bolly, Worrell, McKenna, Aurier, Danilo, Yates, Aina, and then Johnson, Awani and Gibbs White in their front three. And here is Awani, who got Nottingham Forest ahead in 92 seconds in the first half. We've had just over 92 seconds after the restart. It's still 2-1 to Nottingham Forest. Now bright sunshine at Old Trafford. We had that torrential downpour in the first half. Speaking of torrential downpours, it's only just half time of the one call in League 2. Mansfield 1, Stockport 2. That game kicked off because of heavy rain in that part of the country just before kick-off, so it only got underway at 3:15. Eriksen for Manchester United finds Casemiro. Tucked back into the centre of the half. Bruno Fernandes flashes a shot a good 2 or 3 yards over the bar. Matt Turner unmoved, felt he had it covered. Goal kick to Nottingham Forest to our right-hand side.
That does open up time and time again for Manchester United because they're so deep, Nottingham Forest, and they can't cover the ground. If they get it right, Manchester United, it's either Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro's had his opportunities from the edge of the box to take the strike on. You've just got to do a bit better. You've got to test Turner, skip it off the surface, see then if you can follow things in. But Manchester United need a lot more. I mean, Anthony Martial has been pretty anonymous in that first half. He needs to do more to get into the game. Anthony's been incredibly wasteful. It's okay doing those mesmerising dribbles, but there's got to be something at the end of it.
That's Dean Ashton alongside me, Ian Danta here at Old Trafford. 2-1 to Forest in the Premier League, and Gibbs White looks for a teammate, but the whistle's gone for a free kick. Cardiff lead Sheffield Wednesday in the Championship. Ike Ugbo for Cardiff. Yet to win or keep a clean sheet under their new Turkish manager Bulut, but Cardiff lead against another team without a win, Sheffield Wednesday. Two struggling sides. Swindon have doubled their lead against Crawley Town at the County Ground in League 2. A second for Jake Young as well this afternoon. Swindon 2, Crawley 0. Now inside the box, Martial gets space, out comes Turner and dives on top of the ball. Martial just didn't really know where the ball was. It suddenly snaked through down the left-hand side of the Nottingham Forest penalty area, and Martial, before he could get the ball under his spell, was set upon by the Forest keeper. 2-1 Forest.
Too busy worried about the defender there rather than the ball. The ball was there just to be struck past Turner. Instead he's worried about trying to shoulder barge the defender, gets it all wrong. Doesn't look fit actually, Martial, not properly fit, doesn't look sharp enough for a game like this.
His 300th appearance today for Manchester United. Can he cap it with a goal? 6 last season for Martial. Forest 2-1 up. If you're just tuning into Talksport on this Saturday afternoon. Wan-Bissaka, right-hand corner of the Forest area, puts a cross into the box. Martial beaten to the punch by Willy Bolly, who heads clear. Anthony on this near side, the United right, combines with Wan-Bissaka. Fernandes goes down. Foul. Free kick to Manchester United, level with the Nottingham Forest penalty area. Burton take the lead against Bolton in League 1. Yet to win Burton. But Bolton, who were thrashed at home by Wigan last time out, have gone behind to Mark Helm. And James Wilson has put Port Vale ahead, also in League One against Carlisle United, another team yet to win this season. Vale ahead through James Wilson from the penalty spot. Now, Manchester United with a free kick. They're 2-1 down at home to Nottingham Forest. We've played 5 minutes of the second half. Fernandez standing over it, 3 or 4 yards in from this near touchline as we sit halfway back in the Bobby Charlton stand. And referee Stuart Atwell just keeping an eye on any pushing and shoving. Nottingham Forest holding their line pretty much in line with the penalty spot, 12 yards out. 1 or 2 Manchester United players standing in an offside position before the kick is delivered. And Fernandez actually plays it square to Rashford, who's 25 yards out. Back into the area. Fernandez again, knocks it down, and it's tapped in for 2-2 by Casemiro. Superbly worked free kick from Manchester United that caught out Nottingham Forest. Fernandez pulled it back to Rashford. Rashford bided his time, floated a lovely ball back into the box for Fernandez, who had the presence of mind to just nod it down for the onrushing Casemiro, and it's all square at Old Trafford. Manchester United 2, Nottingham Forest 2.
Straight off the Carrington training ground. Bruno Fernandes in towards Rashford on the edge of the box, and then he just bides his time, makes an arcing run in behind a sleeping Brennan Johnson, who's just not awake to that situation, and he's very unselfish. Bruno Fernandes, he just nods it back across to Casemiro, takes it on the thigh and just flicks it past Turner. Clever set play.
2-2 on Talksport, game day exclusive. But here come Nottingham Forest with Danilo as they try to respond. Gets to the edge of the area, shot well held by Onana in front of his goal line. And Forest have got to go again. Manchester United in possession. Norwich 3-0 up at Huddersfield. Jonathan Rowe with another goal for Norwich. That's his 4th of the season, joining Ozan Tufan, who scored for Hull last night in their 1-1 draw with Bristol City. You heard that on Talksport 2. So Huddersfield 0, Norwich 3. Long ball downfield looking for Anthony, well claimed by Matt Turner. Is that another goal at the Hawthorns as well in the Championship? Talksport's Adam Bridge.
It is West Bromwich Albion 3, Middlesbrough 1, 2 minutes into the second half. It's Brandon Thomas Asante, a back pass from Lucas Engel, didn't reach Dieng in goal, and in nipped Thomas Asante to slot the ball home for Albion. It's West Bromwich Albion 3, Middlesbrough 1.
Corner to Manchester United, and there's belief around Old Trafford as Anthony tried his luck from the right-hand corner of the box with his left foot. Good save from Turner, short corner. Eriksson over on the far side of the field. Toe pokes into the area. Martinez drifting out to the left-hand side. Decent cross in. Oh, it almost found Casemiro at the far post, following an inadvertent header from Aina, and it's gone behind for another Manchester United corner. They're piling on the pressure at 2-2.
Got to try and get out at some point, Nottingham Forest. They just, when they try and clear it, there's no real aim at getting it towards a teammate. The pressure is just mounting and mounting. You've got to try and play out.
Christian Eriksen with the corner for Manchester United. Onto the 6-yard line. Bit of a Toblerone header from Awani. Tried to get it clear, just headed it behind for another corner. Hat-trick for Jake Young. Swindon 3, Crawley 0 in League 2. And Barrow equalised against Wrexham up at Holker Street. That's 1-1. Eriksen with another short corner to Bruno Fernandes. Gives it back to Eriksen down the right-hand side of the area. Right-footed cross along the deck. Half cleared. Comes out to Anthony. Tried to drive it. It was blocked at source by Brennan Johnson. Awani tries to head clear. Finds Danilo. There's 2 players on the counter-attack. Brilliant interception by Wan-Bissaka. But his crossfield pass intended for Casemiro was overhit. But what a vital interception from Aaron Wan-Bissaka, because if he hadn't got to that pass, Brennan Johnson would have been away and clear inside the United half. 2-2.
He shouldn't have been able to intercept that. That should have just been floated over the top by Danilo, and instead he tried to play that through Wan-Bissaka, who read it perfectly. But again, from their own set play, they look so vulnerable, Manchester United.
Scott McKenna down injured. We've got a red card at the Hawthorns in the Championship. Adam Bridge.
West Bromwich Albion 3, Middlesbrough 1. It's the visitors that are down to 10 men. It's Tommy Smith back in the starting lineup today. A second yellow card for a foul on Matt Phillips. He's gone. Borough 2 behind and down to 10. West Bromwich Albion 3, Middlesbrough 1.
Niakate coming on as a sub for Nottingham Forest imminently, it looks to be, with Scott McKenna receiving treatment. We've got a goal back at the New York Stadium in the Championship. Talksport's Mark Wilson.
Equaliser, Rotherham 1, Leicester 1, fully deserved as well. Fred Onyedimna getting a flick header on Andre Green's left wing cross. 53 gone, Rotherham 1, Leicester 1.
And here comes that change for Nottingham Forest. Musa Niakate coming on for Scott McKenna. Whilst McKenna moves gingerly off the pitch, let's get off to Emirates Stadium in the Premier League. Ray Parlour and Alex Crook.
Where it's still Arsenal 0, Fulham 1. It's been that way since the very first minute of the game, and it's Fulham who've come closest to adding to the scoring in the second half. Bobby De Cordova-Reid firing wide after a rapid counter-attack. Arsenal at the moment struggling to get back on terms. Arsenal 0, Fulham 1.
And quickly to Goodison Park, Everton Wolves, Steve Huddersall.
Everton 0, Wolves 0. Surely Everton will bag their first Premier League goal of the season soon. They dominated the first 45 and have come close since the restart. Young dinked a free kick over a two-man wall. Danjuma tried to flick it in, but Sarr equal to it. Everton 0, Wolves 0.
It's the story of their game that we brought you last Saturday on Talksport against Brighton. So many chances, Wolves, but just couldn't put anything away. So Niakate is on for Nottingham Forest for the injured Scott McKenna. The ball's on halfway. 2-2 the score here at Old Trafford. And the ball's given away by the United captain, Bruno Fernandes, to Awani. Plays it to the right, and Aurier moving at pace into the United half. Back comes Rashford to close down the space. So it's worked in field for Danilo. Gives it back to Serge Aurier. Out to the right-hand side, Ryan Yates looks for Aurier again, who's got Dalot at his back. Little back heel from Aurier, trying to get Yates into the game, but Rashford tracking back. Did really well for Manchester United, but his ball downfield is won back by Nottingham Forest. MK Dons 2, Doncaster 1. Luke Molyneux gets a goal back for Donny. Grimsby lead at Walsall. Abbott Isa gets the goal for Grimsby. And Newport 0, Sutton 1 also in lead to Amari Patrick for Sutton United at Rodney Parade after 3 straight draws for Sutton United. 2-2 here if you're just tuning into TalkSport. 57 minutes gone at Old Trafford. Let's update you quickly from the G-Tech in the Premier League. TalkSport's Ollie Klink.
Hour gone here, Dance. Brentford 1, Crystal Palace 0. Brentford still lead and they've looked good. We've already seen Kevin Schade try to bend one in from the edge of the area. As for Palace, Eberechi Eze's just had a shot from the edge of the box, which went out for a throw. Brentford 1, Crystal Palace 0.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka just had a yellow card for going in late on Ola Aina on this near side. Was that a yellow card offence for you, Dean Ashton?
Yeah, because he came through the leg of Aina rather than trying to win the ball. He's just crashed into Ola Aina's calf before getting some of the ball, and you just can't do that.
There was a shake of the head from Sir Alex Ferguson, sat in the stand just to our left as the camera panned on him after that yellow card decision. You can imagine him being on Aaron Wan-Bissaka's side. 2-2. Here come United again as they pile forward once more. It's Anthony on this near side as they attack the east stand in this second half. Clips in field to Rashford, lays it off to Wan-Bissaka. Now down the right hand side of the box for Anthony. Bolly goes with him. Anthony twisting and turning, pulling the ball back. Oh, it's flicked wide by Casemiro. Tried to improvise a flick, and Bruno Fernandes in the end got the final effort. And it was a good 2 or 3 yards wide from the United captain. Good work from Anthony inside the box, pulling it back, but Fernandes couldn't get his shot on target. It's a goal kick to Nottingham Forest, and it stays 2 apiece on TalkSport.
I think he's got to do more of that, Anthony, where he gets to the byline, and that's when he can do the little jinking, dribbling runs that he makes and just get that half a yard, flashes it across. Bruno Fernandes arrives late, and as he goes to hit it with the side of his foot, it comes right off his heel and goes wide, rather than the meat of the foot putting into the back of the net. Clips off the heel and diverts it wide.
Ryan Yates taken down on the far side of the field. Jadon Sancho's ready to come on in a moment for Manchester United. And it's going to be for Martial. Well, you said it. He didn't look fit to you, Dean Ashton. Anthony Martial we're talking about here. And he's coming off. Can't celebrate his 300th appearance with a goal. And Jadon Sancho wants to replace him, who, as you said earlier, Dean, has played in a false 9 position for Manchester United in pre-season fixtures.
Yeah, I mean, will he go into that position, or whether Rashford will go down the middle and Sancho to the left, we'll find out in a second. But Anthony Martial, pretty ineffective, doesn't look quite fit, but somebody needed to play through the middle to allow Rashford to go out onto the left.
Free kick to Forest. Leighton Orient 2, Cambridge 0, Theo Archibald. Motherwell equalise against Kilmarnock in the SPFL. Dan Casey making it 1-1. Free kick from Forest. Roll down the right-hand side of the box, looking for Brennan Johnson, who went down under pressure from Bruno Fernandes. And Forest win it back. Aurier down the right-hand side. Johnson still down. Ball clips into the area. Awani tries to get his head to it, but it skimmed off his forehead. Trickles out to this near touchline where Willie Bolly retrieves it for Nottingham Forest. At the Stretford end, back to the edge of the area. Morgan Gibbs-White gives it back to Bolly, down the left-hand side of the box, looking to get the ball into the area, making space as he tries to get it past Wan-Bissaka. Toe pokes the ball into the box. Eriksson half clears. Red card apiece between Stevenage and Portsmouth. Jake Forster-Caskey and Joe Rafferty, one from each side sent off. Still 0-0 there at the Lamex. 2-2 here at Old Trafford on Talksport with an hour gone. Here come Manchester United with Anthony. Nutmegs Aina and brought down. Obstructed by Aina. Yellow card issued almost immediately for Aina. You're listening to Manchester United 2, Nottingham Forest 2 on Talksport with Now. Don't forget that with Now, you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Brighton versus West Ham live today for £11.99, no contract. Search Now Sports. Goal at St Andrews in the Championship. Dave Rowe.
Birmingham 1, Plymouth 1. Equaliser has been coming. Ryan Hardy has scored his third of the season. Brilliant skill by Azaz to play in Morgan Whittaker. His shot saved by John Ruddy, but Hardy was there to scoop up the rebound. Birmingham 1, Plymouth 1.
Free kick to Manchester United, 25 yards inside the Nottingham Forest half of the field. Out to the left of centre. Eriksson rolls it to Fernandes just to his right. Fernandes gives it back to Eriksson down the left-hand side of the area. The cross is blocked behind by Aurier for a Manchester United corner. Another one off the training ground that almost came off for Manchester United. 2-2.
But I don't mind that. When you look at Nottingham Forest's side, they're a big side that you think will probably win the majority of the headers if you just play that in. So to be a bit more creative from set plays, I think is a good thing, and it's obviously worked.
Corner on the far side for Manchester United. Eriksson, right-footed in-swinger, headed up and out by Joe Worrell for Nottingham Forest. Eriksson has it again, level with the edge of the area on the far side of the field, the Sir Alex Ferguson stand side. Now, fizzed across the face of goal and no one could get a touch. Lindelof was the player right in front of goal in the end, who was notionally the closest. He wasn't really that close to getting a touch, but a dangerous ball from Anthony across the face of goal that nobody in a red shirt could convert. Goal kick, 2-2.
I mean, I am scratching my shiny head at why Marcus Rashford and Anthony would be two of the furthest players away from the goal when you have a set play. Okay, it might come out to the edge of the area, but why would you not have those players in the area for when that ball then gets recycled and is flashed across? Not then Lindelof.
Don't scratch your shiny head, you get marks on it. Swindon Town 4, Crawley Nil, and Jake Young's got all 4 this afternoon for Swindon Town at the county ground. 4 goals here, but they've been shared so far between Manchester United and Nottingham Forest. Live on Talksport. Don't forget later. Oh, what a big fight. Alexander Usyk against Daniel Dubois. The title belts are on the line in Wroclaw in front of over 40,000 fans in the football stadium in Wroclaw, and we're there. Adam Cattrall, Gareth A. Davis, Spencer Oliver, Andy Clark, all there. Full live commentary, and also Nassim Hamed's son is fighting on that bill. You hear that fight on the undercard. Our coverage starts at 9 p.m. on Fight Night. Manchester United coming forward. Rashford fires the ball into the area. It's come out to Anthony, tries to improvise a curling shot, but the ball was stuck under his foot somewhat, just couldn't get it out of his feet. And there's a bit of a conflab going on between Steve Cooper and his Forest coaching staff down beneath us. Forest have a goal kick. Let's check in at the Emirates. Ray Parlour and Alex Crook.
Arsenal 0, Fulham 1. It's turning into a very frustrating afternoon for Arsenal. Martin Ødegaard has had a long-range effort, comfortably saved by Bernd Leno. The Norwegian then blazed over after cutting in from the right-hand side. They've had lots of possession, Arsenal, but they're really struggling to find a way past a stubborn Fulham back line. Arsenal 0, Fulham 1.
Goal at Deepdale in the Championship. Cameron Pope.
It's Preston 1, Swansea 1. A looping header from Andrew Hughes to level things here at Deepdale. Swansea were looking for their first win of the season and may have to work harder for it now. Preston 1, Swansea 1.
Ayr 0, Dundee United 2 in the Scottish Championship. And there's a Forest player down. It's Brennan Johnson, who's just holding his left ankle in a little bit of discomfort. Maybe something's tightened up there as he landed awkwardly. Might have hyperextended his knee there. I don't know, Dean Ashton, but he needs some treatment. It's 2-2 here.
Oh, we know what that is. When he gets another player to grab his foot, he makes that straight leg and press down on the toes. Lovely bit of cramp.
Let's check in at Goodison Park whilst there's this injury here. Steve Hothersall.
65 gone, is still goalless, but Everton's summer signing, £12.5 million from Sporting. Youssef Chamniti, a 19-year-old, has come on to rapturous applause. They need goals. Can he find one? Meanwhile, Wolves are edging back into it. Silva's had a goal disallowed, and he should have at least hit the target with another chance. 0-0 at Goodison.
Penalty at the Emirates. Alex Crook.
And a penalty for Arsenal. Arsenal 0, Fulham 1. Bukayo Saka has the ball in his hands. This is a ridiculous, brainless challenge from Kenny Tete, scything down the Arsenal substitute, Fabio Vieira. Looked like Ødegaard was going to take the kick, but he's passed the ball to Saka. There is a delay here, Dan, so I'm not entirely sure why. If it is for a VAR review, Ray Parlour, I'm not sure what they're looking at. It looked pretty clear-cut to me.
Well, it certainly was a really rash tackle from Tete on his left-hand side. It's definitely a penalty. There's no doubt about it. He's late, and Vieira got past him.
Let's get back to Old Trafford. Ian Danta.
Red card for Joe Worrell of Nottingham Forest, denying a clear goal-scoring opportunity in the eyes of Stuart Atwell as Bruno Fernandes raced through on goal. He's off, and Manchester United will have a free kick just inside the D once this is all cleared up. Back to you, Alex.
And finally, Bukayo Saka, in the pouring rain here in North London, is about to take the penalty against his former teammate, the Fulham goalkeeper Bernd Leno, who's been unbeatable so far this afternoon. Arsenal fans all around us on their feet. It's been a difficult afternoon so far, and still there's a delay with the kick being taken. What on earth is Paul Tierney, the referee, doing here? Get on with the game. I think the ball has just blown off the penalty spot. Ray Parlour.
Unbelievable. I mean, it was on the spot itself, and this is only going to put probably Saka off a little bit more. He's got to keep his composure now. That's the most important thing. Don't change your mind. When you run up to the ball, you know where you're going to take the penalty.
He scored from the spot, Saka, in the Community Shield at Wembley as Arsenal beat Manchester City, and belatedly he has the chance here to get the Gunners back on level terms. A slow roll, rolls it into the bottom corner, and it's Arsenal 1, Fulham 1.
They're checking the red card here at Old Trafford for Joe Worrell. They're having a look. The fourth official, Michael Salisbury, and the VAR, Robert Jones. And the decision is upheld, and Joe Worrell has to make his long walk from the edge of his own penalty area all the way to the tunnel away to our left-hand side for denying a clear goal-scoring opportunity to Bruno Fernandes, racing through the middle. It's 2-2, but United now have a man advantage, Dean Ashton.
They do. He's unlucky, Joe Worrell, though, because I tell you what, that ball over the top, Bruno Fernandes goes in behind, and for once the ball didn't skid on. It actually stood up, which meant it got closer to Bruno Fernandes, but Bolle is right there. So it's not a clear goal-scoring opportunity because Bruno Fernandes hasn't got hold of the ball. Bolle is right there. I think it's very, very harsh.
Well, the upshot of it is we have a free kick for Manchester United inside the D. Bruno Fernandes is standing over the ball. Rashford just behind him, a couple of paces behind him. We'll get off to a championship goal at St Mary's in just a moment, but let's see what Manchester United can conjure up with this free kick. And straight away, Cech Kouyaté has been brought on for Brennan Johnson to bolster the Nottingham Forest back line. So Kouyaté on, Johnson off, Forest down to 10 men. There's a draft excluder of Ola Aina behind the wall for this free kick. He's dead centre, right inside the middle of the D for Manchester United. Fernandes takes 2 or 3 paces back from the ball. Rashford there with him. Matt Turner organising his wall. There's a 3-man United wall in front of the Forest wall. Up steps Fernandes, plays it to the left-hand side, goes behind for a goal kick That was not off the training ground. Let's get a goal in the Championship at St Mary's. Ian Abrahams.
Southampton 2, QPR 1. Patient build up by Saints. Ball inside the penalty area, left of centre. Adam Armstrong 15 yards out, fired home. Yet another goal in Southampton 2, QPR 1.
We're getting breaking news that the entire coaching staff who've been working under the Spain women's head coach Jorge Vilda have resigned with immediate effect in the wake of the controversy that surrounded the Spanish head of the FA after the Women's World Cup final that we brought you last Sunday on Talksport. More on that later. Don't forget the game day phone-in with Jamie O'Hara and Gabby Agbonlahor straight after this game. What's the betting that Jamie O'Hara's going to go Spurs are back? Any chance it's going to happen? 03717 223344. Spurs are back. Get your call in and maybe agree or disagree with Jamie, because he's almost bound to say it. 73,595 here at Old Trafford. And a goal at the Emirates, Alex Crook.
And scenes of jubilation for the home fans. They've turned this right around. Arsenal 2, Fulham 1. Fabio Vieira, who won the penalty for the first goal, played a delicious cross into the 6-yard box. And Eddie Nketiah simply could not miss. Arsenal 2, Fulham 1.
Less than 20 to go on Talksport. 2-2 here. Out to the left-hand side, Rashford for Manchester United. They've got a man advantage. Joe Worrell sent off for Nottingham Forest. Here's Anthony, right-hand corner of the area, forced away from the box by Aina. Now gives it back to Bruno Fernandes, the captain. Jadon Sancho, just inside the area, right-hand side, looks for Casemiro. Little toe poke from Willy Bolly, get the ball away from him, but Casemiro was offside anyway, so it'll be a free kick to Nottingham Forest. Notts County 2 up on Tranmere. Connell Rawlinson with a second for County. Livingston 2-1 up at Hibs in the SPFL. And we're in for a breathless last 20 minutes or so here, Dean Ashton.
Oh, we sure are. Yates has gone into the back three. Kouyate's just gone in front. Nottingham Forest going to try and hold. Of course they are. Owanee's the only player really that's anywhere near looking to attack. And Manchester United have got to find a way.
Here's Sancho. Drives the ball along the halfway line to the inside left position for Diogo Dalot. Hits a diagonal ball, looking for the runner Bruno Fernandes. Oh, he hooks it back across the face of goal superbly, but there are enough Forest shirts back there to get it clear. It's fired up to halfway, but I sense that all the action's going to take place in the half to our right, towards the goal of the east stand end that Forest are defending, with just 10 men on the field. It's 2-2 on Talksport. Can Manchester United find themselves a winner? Here's Jadon Sancho, back for Casemiro. Marcus Rashford picks it up now. Infield it goes to Casemiro once again. Quick feet from him. Left-hand corner of the box, it now finds Dalot. Runs into Gibbs-White, but it's only half cleared by Nottingham Forest. 5-0 to Swindon, 5 for Jake Young. Here's Anthony down the right-hand side of the box. Wins a corner off Aina. Away to our right-hand side as the seconds tick away. 17 to go. 2-2 the score. Manchester United corner. And it's going to be Bruno Fernandes to take it. Right-footed outswinger. Eriksen's there for a short corner, but Fernandes drives it into the near post. Headed behind by Willy Bolly, flying in. And he had to be flying in because Martinez was flying in as well. Another corner for Manchester United. Premier League goal at the G-Tech will be there in just a moment. Here's Fernandes, corner for Manchester United. Headed up and back towards him by Willy Bolly. Brings it down on his head. Another cross from Fernandes. Drifts to the far post and Bolly heads behind another United corner on the far side. Goal of the G-Tech. Ollie Kling.
It's Brentford 1, Crystal Palace 1, an equaliser and an unlikely source. The centre-back, Joachim Andersen, burst into the box and then snuck the ball just past the keeper and just over the line. The Eagles level. 14 minutes to go. Brentford 1, Crystal Palace 1.
Penalty to Manchester United as Marcus Rashford is fouled inside the box. Stuart Howell pointed to the spot immediately for the challenge. I think it was Chet Kouyaté on the far side of the penalty area. In fact, it was Danilo who went in, clipped the heels of Rashford. Penalty given, a chance for United to take the lead, Dean Ashton.
Again, Marcus Rashford. He did it in the first half against Aurier, and this time he's done it against Danilo, who steps across, but his leg never really comes out. I think he goes thigh to thigh with Marcus Rashford. That might be enough, I think, of the contact for Marcus Rashford, who is trying to get across Danilo to go down, and the referee, Stuart Atwell, he didn't hesitate at all.
Bruno Fernandes only now placing the ball on the penalty spot. Matt Turner told by Stuart Atwell to get back on his goal line. And no distracting techniques allowed from goalkeepers at penalty kicks this season. So a chance for Manchester United to take the lead with a quarter of an hour to go on Talksport, having been 2-0 down. It's 2-2 with the responsibility resting on the shoulders of the captain. Bruno Fernandes, short run up and scores! Rifled into the bottom left-hand corner of the net. Fernandes wheels away to the corner flag, mobbed by his teammates. They have turned it around. 15 minutes to go. Manchester United 3, Nottingham Forest 2.
There was real venom in that from Bruno Fernandes, because he probably can't believe that he's not scored already this season. Usually he steps up, little step, and then he takes that big step before he normally just side foots it. He doesn't this time. He absolutely rifles it into the bottom corner, and like you say, wheels away for a big celebration in that far side.
3-2 to Manchester United, and the atmosphere so different inside Old Trafford to what it was after 3 minutes and 53 seconds. And now the Forest fans in the southeast corner to our right are wondering what their side have got left in these final 13 and a half minutes, live on Talksport, with the score now at 3-2. We've seen many Manchester United comebacks at Old Trafford, and this is the latest in that very long line. Erik ten Hag imploring the Stretford end to raise their voices. They do so. Goal at Deepdale in the Championship. Talksport's Cameron Pope.
It's now Preston 2, Swansea 1. The home side have turned this around. A delicious setup by Mesbrook. He cut it back to the 18-yard box, and Dwayne Holmes with a thumping strike into the roof of the net. Preston 2, Swansea 1.
I did get it wrong with Swindon. They were 5-0 up on Crawley, but Jake Young's only scored 4 of those 5. Only 4.
Only.
Thank you to Adrian Durham for the correction. Also, Alex Crook, our chief football correspondent, has told me that Brighton have agreed a £23 million fee with Lille for midfielder Carlos Baleba. That's our understanding. He's set to travel to the Sussex coast for a medical on Monday before he signs a 5-year deal. And Brighton West Ham is our tea time kick-off. Regular updates during the course of the game day phone-in with Jamie O'Hara and Gabby Agbonlahor. So Brighton appear to have agreed a £23 million fee with Lille in Liga for midfielder Carlos Baleba. Is that another gem unearthed by the Brighton recruitment team? 3-2 to Manchester United. They were 2-0 down, remember. Bristol Rovers 0, Wycombe Wanderers 2. Gareth McCleary gets the second for Wycombe. Sheffield Wednesday equalise at Cardiff. Barry Banner making it 1-1 at the Cardiff City Stadium. And also 1-1 between Newport and Sutton in League 2. An own goal from Joe Kizzy gets Newport level at Rodney Parade. Here's Awani for Nottingham Forest. What have the visitors got left? Down to 10 men. Morgan Gibbs-White under pressure from Dallow. Goes down and wins a free kick off Dallow. 25 yards out. Stuart Atwell might want to have a further word with Diogo Dallow, it seems, but no more than that. Gillingham 0, Colchester 2. Meantime, Gillingham, remember, 4 1-0 wins to start the season, but they're 2-0 down at the Priestfield. Samson Tavida with a second for Colchester. Forest Green equalise at AFC Wimbledon. Troy Deeney gets his first Forest Green Rovers goal after his recent arrival at the new lawn. Free kick to Nottingham Forest. Midway point of the United half. Forest attacking the Stretford end in the second half. 3-2 to United. They were 2-0 down. There's just over 10 minutes to go on Talksport. And United holding their line at the edge of the area. And the referee Stuart Atwell just having a word with one or two players in that melee at the edge of the area, looking for any potential pushing and shoving. Backs away now Stuart Atwell. Gibbs-White hands on hips. now raises his left arm. In comes the delivery from the Forest number 10. Up go the heads, Awani with a header, and there was a flying attempt to get the ball towards goal from Serge Aurier, but he couldn't connect. So it's currently Manchester United 3, Nottingham Forest 2. For the latest odds, head to Betfair, the official betting partner of Talksport's Premier League coverage, where right now you can get Manchester United to win at 50-1 on, Nottingham Forest to win at 500-1. The draw is priced at 22-1. Don't forget, Betfair are paying out winning bets at 90 minutes with 90-minute payout. That applies to match odds 90 market or markets with a 90 icon. That's all thanks to Betfair. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org. Couple of Nottingham Forest substitutions, and former Manchester United youngster Anthony Elanga is coming on. £15 million capture in the summer. He's coming on for Danilo. And Chris Wood, who scored the winner against Sheffield United live on Talksport 8 days ago, he's coming on for Awani up front. Your thoughts on those two changes as Forest, with 10 men, seek an equaliser, Dean Ashton?
Yeah, I mean, he's taking a gamble, isn't he? Bringing on two attacking players for a forward and a midfielder. As Chris Wood just steals the ball back.
Poor outward pass from Andre Onana. Wood at the edge of the Manchester United penalty area. In steps Serge Aurier at the edge of the D. Loses out. Away come Manchester United on the counter-attack. Jadon Sancho powering over the halfway line. Plays it out left to Marcus Rashford, who's taken Bolly out there with him. Rashford tries to skip past Bolly, but he does well initially, the Forest defender, and he wins the ball back. And then he's fouled, and that'll be a free kick to Nottingham Forest, much to the disgust of those Manchester United fans on the far side. Newport have turned it around in League 2 at home to Sutton United. It's now 2-1 to Newport County. Harry Charsley. And it'll be a free kick to Nottingham Forest, and we have a sixth goal of the game at Portman Road in the Championship. Joe Shannon.
Ipswich 2, Leeds 4, 15 minutes to go. Luis Sinisterra put clear on goal. Fine finish into the bottom corner. Ipswich's club record 21 game unbeaten run is coming to an end, and Leeds have surely wrapped it up. Ipswich 2, Leeds 4.
England 15, Fiji 20 in the rugby live on Talksport 2 right now. It's England's last warm-up game before the World Cup. Steve Borthwick could do without another defeat, but they are back in it with a try. That's live on Talksport 2 right now. Following that, Scotland-Georgia at 5:15 in the rugby live on Talksport 2, and Ireland-Samoa at 7:30 on Talksport 2. Tonight at 9 on Talksport, Fight Night, Usyk Dubois, live and free. Full commentary from our team out in Wrocław in Poland. Nottingham Forest have a throw-in, trying to get the ball into the Manchester United box. It's level with the edge of the Manchester United penalty area. Going to be hurled in by Serge Aurier. Into the box, flicked on by Bolly. Headed up and out by Wan-Bissaka. Gibbs-White tries to drive it goalwards from the edge of the D. Only half cleared. Down the right-hand side of the box goes Aina, tries to get a cross in. It's cleared away by Dallow, and out for a throw. Forest haven't given up hope of getting an equaliser, even though they're a man like Dean Ashton.
No, and that's why he's made the changes for the moments like this. If they get a chance for a long throw, Aina can just fly it in there and hope that it knocks down to one of their players.
Aina with another long throw. Forest player goes down inside the box. Nothing doing, says the referee. It's flicked on Chris Wood. Finds a shot from edge of the area, and it's brilliantly tipped wide by Onana. Wonderful effort on goal. I think it was Danilo that got the shot away, but it was pushed aside for a corner kick. There's been a red card at the Emirates. Alex Crook.
And it's turning into a nightmare second half for Fulham. It's Arsenal 2, Fulham 1. Calvin Bassey has just been sent off on his full Premier League debut. It's a second yellow card offence, cynically shoving over Eddie Nketiah in the centre circle as Arsenal tried to counter. Fulham, if they are to salvage a point, will have to do it a man light. It's Arsenal 2, Fulham 1.
Nottingham Forest a man light here. They're 3-2 down with 6 minutes to go on Talksport at Old Trafford as Erik ten Hag takes off Anthony and brings on Scott McTominay to bolster the defensive ranks and the height for set pieces like this upcoming Nottingham Forest corner at the Stretford end on the right hand side. Chance for Gibbs-White to deliver a packed penalty box. United have got everybody back, and it comes from Gibbs-White onto about the 6-yard line, flicked away by Lindelof. Man United can't get hold of the second ball. It's won back by Aina. Early ball out to the right, looking for Gibbs-White, but it's toe poked out of play by Bruno Fernandes. Gillingham 0, Colchester 3. Bradley Ihonov... Oh dear. Ahionvane gets the third for Colchester, yeah, thanks very much for that. And Mansfield 2, Stockport 2. Davis Keeler done, that's easier. He equalises for Mansfield at the 1 call, and Walsall equalise home to Grimsby in League 2, 1-1 there, Ryan Stirk. Forest with another long throw up to the edge of the United area, but it's cleared away. Here comes Bruno Fernandes, the United skipper, who scored the penalty to put United 3-2 up. But a loose pass is intercepted by Elanga. And there's a United player down, it's Casemiro inside his own half. So whilst he's down injured requiring treatment, let's check in and see whether there's any sign of a breakthrough at Goodison Park. Talksport, Steve Huddersall.
Well, there's 5 minutes left and it's still goalless between the two. Decore's had the ball in the back of the Wolves net, but that's been disallowed for offside, so both teams have had a goal disallowed now, and both keepers producing heroic saves. Jordan Pickford, well, the ball ricocheted off Branthwaite at close range. Pickford saved it. Minutes later, one at the other end, Jose Sarr, watch it tonight on TV, remarkable late stop. 0-0 Wolves and Everton.
And there's a goal at the Emirates. Alex Crook.
Incredible. Arsenal 2, 10-man Fulham 2. Harrison Reed with a corner from the right-hand side. Brilliantly swept home at the near post by João Paulinho. The 10 men back on level terms. Arsenal 2, Fulham 2.
Casemiro just getting to his feet. There's another goal in the Championship at the New York Stadium. Mark Wilson.
Rotherham 1, Leicester City 2. Casey McAteer's second league start for Leicester. He's got his second league goal. Ball over the top, cut in on his right foot, back onto his left, and curled it in the corner. 7 to go. Rotherham 1, Leicester 2.
Deadlock broken at Goodison. Steve Huddersall.
Everton 0, Wolves 1. 4 minutes until the 90. Kalajic with a glancing header, ball in from the right-hand side. The header, well, couldn't be stopped by Jordan Pickford. The Wolves fan in that corner. Oh, they've gone absolutely mad. The Everton hearts have sunk so low. I mean, Everton's season 3 games in, still no goals, and it looks now like Wolves will take all the points at Goodison. Everton 0, Wolves 1.
They won 1-0 last season. I remember that live on Talksport when Mark Wilson was up there and Ryan Aït-Nouri scored late on for Wolves to seal the points. Even more significant goal, his first in the Premier League for Wolves. Sasa Kalajic. 1-0 to Wolves. Oxford 2-1 up on Charlton. But here at Old Trafford, 3 minutes to go, plus added time on Talksport. Manchester United from 2-0 down are 3-2 up against 10-man Nottingham Forest. But Forest have a free kick on halfway. Morgan Gibbs-White standing over it. United, their line is 25 yards out. They're defending very, very high up from this free kick. Gibbs-White fires it downfield. Up go the heads at the edge of the area. Flicks on Chris, the ball goes just behind him. Dallow can only half clear it. Yates trying to win it back at the dead ball line and actually shields the ball well. Forest have a corner at the Stretford end. 3-2 United.
Oh, they've been brilliant at keeping the situations alive, whether it's the long throws or the free kicks, just winning that first header and then trying to bundle things in towards the penalty area.
We'll be off to the Hawthorns in a minute. There's been a late goal there, but here's Nottingham Forest with a corner. 3-2 down and a man down at Old Trafford. It's Morgan Gibbs-White to take it. Right-footed outswinger for Forest. A packed penalty box. In it comes from Gibbs-White. Up goes Wood with the header. Just trots beyond him and volleyed wastefully over the top by Anthony Elanga on his return to Old Trafford. So let's check into the Hawthorns for that goal in the Championship. Adam Bridge.
Still 6 minutes to play here. It's West Bromwich Albion 3, Middlesbrough 2. A handball, far edge of the penalty area, converted by the substitute Marcus Fords. Reminder, Middlesbrough down to 10, but it's going to be a tight finish. West Bromwich Albion 3, Middlesbrough 2.
Certainly not a tight finish at the John Smiths. Huddersfield 0, Norwich City 4 now. Adam Eder with the 4. Huddersfield yet to win, Norwich yet to lose. Gillingham's afternoon going from bad to worse. They're already 3-0 down at home to Colchester, and now Ethan Coleman's been sent off. Salford get a late goal back against Accrington at the Peninsula. Salford 1, Accrington 2, and Andre Onana's just been yellow carded by the referee here, with Manchester United 3-2 up for delaying a goal kick, which is just smacked downfield. Into the last minute of normal time on Talksport. The game day phone in on the way after Adrian's full classified check with Jamie O'Hara and Gabby Agbonlahor. Manchester United fans, phone in and sing about your team's comeback. Or are there still problems to solve for Erik ten Hag? And Nottingham Forest fans must have thought it was your day 4 minutes into this game. There are going to be 11 minutes of added time at the end of this game. Yes, you heard me right. 11 minutes. In about 20 seconds time the ball will go up and you wait for the response from the United fans who would rather it was about 10 minutes less than that. Manchester United 3, Nottingham Forest 2. Ian Dancer and Dean Ashton with you. Manchester United have possession. Up goes that board. 11 minutes. Indeed it is. 4-1 back by Chet Kuyate. For Nottingham Forest, Elanga, the former Man United man, skips away down the left-hand side for Forest, pulls it across the face of goal. Wood goes in at the near post and collides with Onana. Niner player gets a touch, goes out of play on the far side. What a chance for Nottingham Forest to snatch a point as stoppage time began.
Oh, what a ball down the side into Anthony Elanga's path, totally free. I mean, Manchester United, you're trying to at least hold on to your lead. There should be some shape about the team. There wasn't at all. Elanga totally free on the left-hand side. He drives in towards the area. He plays a great ball in, I have to say. A dangerous ball for everyone involved as everyone clatters into each other. Wood into the defender, into Onana. The ball flashes right between them all. That could have been the moment.
But it stays 3-2 to Manchester United. Elanga supplied the cross for Nottingham Forest late goal at Arsenal when they got back into the game. And he'll have plenty to want to prove to United supporters, with Nottingham Forest having paid Manchester United 15 million for his services in the summer. Newport 3, Sutton 1. Will Evans looks like he's won it for County at Rodney Parade. Notts County 2-up on Tranmere. Tranmere going to go back through Josh Hawkes. And here come Nottingham Forest again with Gibbs White. Breaks in midfield for Chet Kuyate. Keeps the ball away from Sancho. It's worked back to Niakate. Early ball for Aina. Good control from the left wing back. Holds play up. And now finds Elanga on this near side. The Forest left as they attack the Stretford end. Lazy back heel from Aina. Was looking for Elanga. It's seized upon by Wan-Bissaka, who carries the ball up to the halfway line, plays it infield to McTominay. McTominay spotted Eriksson, but Ryan Yates got back to win it back for Forest. And Wood trying to release Elanga over the top. Good header from Lindelof. Right place, right time for Victor Lindelof.
Had to be, didn't it? But Wood, just get it over the top. Stop trying to play that through. Flick it over the top and at least have that space for Elanga to run into.
Manchester United 3, Nottingham Forest 2 on Talksport in added time. And a free kick to Manchester United awarded. So Wolves 1-0 up at Everton. Brentford Palace 1 apiece. Let's get a quick update in the latter stages where it's all square at the Emirates. Alex Crook.
Arsenal 2, 10-man Fulham 2. We've played 4 of 9 added minutes. Arsenal camped inside the Fulham half, but at the moment the Cottagers holding firm. It's Arsenal 2, Fulham 2.
I was there last season when it was 2-2 deep into stoppage time, when Reece Nelson fired home against Bournemouth, when everyone thought that Arsenal were still favourites for the title. Still chance for late drama there, and indeed here at Old Trafford, because 11 minutes were added on by Stuart Atwell. We've only played 3 of those 11, and it is Manchester United 3, Nottingham Forest 2. It's finished 1-1 at the G-Tech. You'll hear from Ollie Klink shortly with Adrian Durham at full time. It's 1-1 between Brentford and Palace. Free kick for Manchester United. Oh, Serge Aurier just got a toe in to give it away from Rashford, but Rashford's won it back, goes for goal, comfortable save, low down for Matt Turner. 3-2 United.
Oh, he was lucky there, Aurier, because the ball was over the top and he was out of position. Rashford was just about to take that down on his chest, and he stretched that right foot, got a toe end on it into the path of Marcus Rashford, but spun away, and that was a weak effort in the end from Marcus Rashford.
Peterborough 2, Derby County 4. Kwame Poku late goal for Peterborough. And Northampton, who left it late to beat Peterborough last weekend, have left it late to take the lead at Cheltenham. Sam Hoskins making it Cheltenham 0, Northampton 1 in League One. Here come Manchester United again, 3-2 at Rashford, driving in field, gets to the edge of the area, shot is blocked by Niakate, and Forest will bring it away. It's laid off to Aina. Aina will just chip the ball up to Elanga just shy of the halfway line. Steps inside Fernandes. He's caught by Fernandes. There's a release the pass. Free kick to Forest. 4 minutes of the 11 have gone. Goal late on at the Hawthorns in the Championship. Adam Bridge.
All over here in stoppage time. West Bromwich Albion 4, Middlesbrough 2. It's the loney Sarmiento who's thrashed that into the top corner to bag the points for the Baggies. West Bromwich Albion 4, Middlesbrough 2.
And Mansfield have come from behind to lead late on against Stockport. That game kicked off late, but Davis Keeler-Dunn has his second of the day. Mansfield 3, Stockport 2. Free kick for Forest, sent downfield by Matt Turner. They're 3-2 down and a man down here at Old Trafford against Manchester United, with the game day phoning to come. Jamie and Gabby ready to take your calls on 03717 223344. And don't forget Fight Night tonight, live from Wroclaw, 9 p.m. We get across to Poland. You'll hear full live and free coverage of Alexander Usyk against Daniel Dubois. Also, Prince Naseem Hamed's son Adam Hamed's first appearance in the boxing ring will be live with us on Fight Night. Fernandes for Manchester United. Great protection of the ball under pressure from the Forest defence. Cheick Kouyaté eventually wins the ball back, puts it out of play for a throw, but bit of afters between the two number 8s out there, Kouyaté and Fernandes. Fernandes not backwards in coming forwards, he can take care of himself, and he gets a yellow card for his trouble, and so does Kouyaté. Big chance for Fulham apparently at the Emirates. Alex Crook.
Arsenal 2, Fulham 2, but the visitors could just have won it. Quick free kick taken by Anthony Robinson using the pace of Adama Traore, who raced in behind the Arsenal defence. Denied by Aaron Ramsdale. Arsenal 2, Fulham 2.
Barnsley have a second at Wigan. They lead 2-0. John McAtee. Exeter look to have won it in stoppage time at home to Reading. Reece Cole making it 2-1 there. Throw in to Manchester United. And it's finished at Goodison. Wolves have won again, as they did last season, by a 1-0 against Everton. Reaction on the game day phone-in from Goodison Park, and with your calls. Still 3-2 to Manchester United here, and still 4.5 minutes minimum of stoppage time to play at Old Trafford. Forest with 10 men have possession on halfway with Ola Aina. Plays the ball infield to Elanga. Goes down the left-hand side. Kouyaté tried to thread it back to him. One back by Manchester United. Sancho driving over the halfway line. Tried to feed it through to Rashford. Lovely pass, but well intercepted by Bolly. Away come Nottingham Forest. What a challenge by Casemiro on halfway to deny Gibbs White. And here comes McTominay for United. Out to Sancho. Left-hand corner of the box. Looks for Rashford inside the area. Couldn't find his man. And Matt Turner just hoofs it downfield. And asking Elanga to give chase was Chris Wood, but Wan-Bissaka tidied up. End-to-end stuff at Old Trafford, Dean Ashton.
I'm amazed Manchester United have allowed it to be this open. There should just be the composure, just keep possession. You don't need that fourth goal.
Oh God, late goal at St Andrews. Dave Rowe.
Birmingham 2, Plymouth 1, 5 minutes into stoppage time. What a goal, what a story. Jay Stansfield off the bench on his debut. Brilliant first touch, took it round Lewis Gibson and smashed the ball home. Birmingham 2, Plymouth 1.
Me like very much. Manchester United player gone down injured in the centre circle. I think it's McTominay, who's not long come on as a substitute, of course, for Manchester United. So a brief lull here. Let's quickly get back to Emirates, still in stoppage time there. Alex Crook.
Arsenal 2, Fulham 2. One last attack for Arsenal. Brilliant save by Bernd Leno. It was a shot fired in from the edge of the penalty area. Fabio Vieira, it was heading for the top corner, and that may just have saved Fulham a point. It's a corner for Arsenal in the 10th minute of stoppage time. Arsenal 2, Fulham 2.
McTominay just getting to his feet on his haunches at the moment, caught late, so we're going to play more than the 11 minutes that have been added on initially by Stuart Atwell. 8 of those have gone. Manchester United 3, Nottingham Forest 2. Derby have beaten Peterborough by 4-2. Late penalty for Ryan Wintle, and Cardiff look to have beaten Sheffield Wednesday to get their first win of the season. 2-1 to Cardiff against winless Wednesday. AFC Wimbledon and Forest Green have drawn one apiece in League 2. Motherwell have beaten Kilmarnock in Scotland. Oxford have beaten Charlton by 2-1 in League 1. Back to the Emirates, Alex.
And we're still playing here. Arsenal 2, 10-man Fulham 2. But there goes the full-time whistle. João Paulinho, 3 minutes from time after Calvin Bassey had been sent off for the visitors, has rescued a point. It's finished Arsenal 2, Fulham 2.
And Preston have beaten Swansea in the Championship by 2-1. McTominay just coming off the field. He's going to get a fresh shirt, bit of a blood injury. England 22, Fiji 30. Another try for Fiji to pile the misery on for Steve Borthwick ahead of the Rugby World Cup. That's live on Talksport 2 right now with Scotland-Georgia at 5:15, also live in the Summer Series Internationals, and Ireland-Samoa at 7:30 tonight, all on Talksport 2, with Fight Night Live at 9 o'clock here on Talksport for Usyk against Dubois, live and free with all those heavyweight title belts on the line. Throw to Manchester United, we're back underway. McTominay just waiting for his chance to be reintroduced. 9 minutes of the 11 have gone. McTominay back on, 3-2 to Manchester United. Have 10-man Nottingham Forest got anything left in these last knockings at Old Trafford? The ball's with Victor Lindelof, who guides the ball back on the half volley to his keeper, Andre Onana. Onana fires the ball right-footed downfield. Bolly should win the header. In fact, it goes over his head. Aurier will tidy up for Nottingham Forest, but it's got to go down the other end of the field for Steve Cooper and his men. It's in their own defensive third at the moment. Ainer's gone to join the attackers. It's a long ball downfield from Willy Bolly. Chris Wood won't win the header, but he protects the ball for Elanga, who wanted to give the ball back to Wood, but it was tidied up by Manchester United. We played the 10 minutes of the 11 that have been added on, but there will be a bit more because of that injury to McTominay. Manchester United making slightly heavier weather of this than they should be, Dean Ashton. 3-2 up.
Well, exactly. There hasn't been the composure on the ball from Manchester United. They've allowed Nottingham Forest. Oh.
And there's high boot from McTominay on Czech Kouyaté, and a free kick. Kouyaté's down hurt, caught one flush in the mush from Scott McTominay, and a free kick to Nottingham Forest midway inside the United half, Dean Ashton.
Yeah, this is the moments they've been looking for, these positions where Morgan Gibbs-White can float one in. It's an awkward angle because it's quite straight onto the Manchester United goal, but I'm sure he'll just try to feed this in over the top of the Manchester United defence.
Midway point of the United half, with Forest attacking the Stretford end. Could be their last chance to snatch an equaliser with just 10 men. Gibbs-White addresses the ball, right-footed curler into the box. It's half cleared by Manchester United. Lobbed by Rashford down for Eriksson. Chance for a counter. There's 3-on-2 if they can play the ball right. It's Fernandez carrying the ball over the halfway line. Forest getting players back up to the edge of the area. Gibbs-White slides in to stop Sancho getting possession of the ball, and then wins a throw-in, but time running out for Nottingham Forest. The 11 minutes of minimum stoppage time are done and dusted. Manchester United seconds away from a second home win of the season, but they were 2-0 down, remember. But here's Elanga trying to muscle in on the ball down the left-hand side of the attacking third of the field. Forest have won a throw. Ainer's just going to launch this into the box. Surely the last chance for Nottingham Forest to throw a long ball into the Stretford end and see what happens. Ainer winds up the throw, launches it into the box. Down goes the United player. Breaks for Bruno Fernandes in the right back position. Smacks it downfield. Gibbs-White gets a foot in, but it'll drop for Diogo Dalot. Out to the left-hand side. Fires the ball downfield. Sancho. Lovely willing run out to that far side, but he's dispossessed by Aurier. Still we play on Talksport. Still it's 3-2 to United. Chris Wood on the halfway line. Plays a little 1-2 and works the ball back to Ainer. Still we play on. 13 minutes of added time played. Little diagonal ball sent down the right-hand side. United get it clear. And there goes the full-time whistle. Manchester United have snatched all 3 points. Forest players to a man sink to their knees. They were 2-0 up at Old Trafford inside 4 minutes. But Manchester United have mounted many a comeback down the years. Let's add this one to the list. Goals early on from Awani and Bolly had Manchester United reeling in the early stages, but Manchester United were not to be outdone. Eriksson had them back in the game before half-time with a goal that made it 2-1, and then in the second half Casemiro made it 2-2 after a lovely cushion header down from Bruno Fernandes, and then Fernandes smashed home a penalty with a quarter of an hour to go after Rashford was brought down. Forest will have to lick their wounds and go again, but as they did at Arsenal, they've showed that they're not that weak on the road as they were last season. They'll ask a few more questions on their travels this season, but ultimately they come away from Old Trafford with nothing, and after a difficult week off the field, United finished the week with 3 precious points. Manchester United 3, Nottingham Forest 2.
Well, we'll let Dean Ashton take all that in. What a game, live and exclusive on Talksport, as Manchester United come from 2 down in the first 4 minutes of the game to win by 3 goals